Here in my garage, no, here in Vince's garage, we're talking
Sure.
Toronto Raptors. We're talking training camp. We're talking who's getting cut. The Raptors have narrowed the field down to 21. We'll talk about which of these hopefuls, Olivier Sarr, and is Scottie Barnes getting cut? Is RJ Barrett getting cut? We don't know. Well, we know some stuff. How you doing, Vince? Vince is frozen. This is the worst time to be frozen. Okay. While we wait for Vince to come back, we're gonna get to Ty Lopez. Tell me this is not the same thing.
Here in my garage, just bought this.
Definitely no Lambo.
No Lambo.
No.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, correction. My son has a little miniature Lambo.
Did you get frozen or is that me? You did freeze, right?
It might be
anyone?
me.
I'm pretty sure it is you.
Yeah.
Damn. Garage, bad Wi-Fi. Okay.
Yeah. Let me try moving.
Can the chat let me know, is it me or is it Vince? Because I was having internet connection issues before, so I just want to make sure it's not me who's freezing, gaslighting Vince here and being like, no, it's you. Chat, let me know. Probably gonna have to chop out the first 2 minutes of this. This is a bar hang. This is like the online equivalent of a Saturday night bar hang.
That's
right. Grab your drinks, grab your beer. Let's talk some Toronto Raptors. I mean, man, it is close. It is close, man. We are Monday. Monday is media day, and then 1 week away. 1 week away. We are. I think it's like what, 9 days exactly, 8 days in an hour that we're gonna watch the Toronto Raptors going up against Denver Nuggets. That's gonna be dope. Cool. Camera looks fine. Good. Okay. So, what are your thoughts on what's been going on in the last few weeks? Any pressing topics that you want to talk about?
I thought I'm sure when I messaged you, I said, hey, you gonna be doing any lives anytime soon? He's like, and you said something to the effect of, I've done 2 in the last 18 hours, just something like that.
That's a direct quote. That's a direct quote.
Yeah. So I imagine you did one on the Bobby press conference.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah, I liked what he had to say. I thought he was interesting. It definitely wasn't as I guess emotional or inspirational as the Masai ones, but it was. I feel like he carries himself well. I like Bobby. I like the way he carries himself. I like that he sort of holds the cards close to the vest a little bit. He doesn't want to give too many things away. He doesn't glaze his guys, but he also doesn't. He's not a hard ass at the same time. So
he does glaze one guy a lot. It's very Scottie. Interesting. No, actually, it's not Scottie. That was Masai's guy. Masai really liked to glaze Scottie. He'd be like giving you like 1 hour soliloquies about how this is the guy you dream to get. Right. This is the ultimate winner. No, it's actually Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, BI. He said some nice stuff about BI for sure.
He really does. He seems to really like him. It's like almost like, Bobby Webster registers that it's pretty valuable to have a shot creator in Toronto. Comparing him to, there was a comment, I think, from Medved who said, Sam Presti had a 2-hour press conference. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm hearing that he had like a really long press conference, and he didn't guarantee a repeat of a championship. He didn't come out and say like, oh yeah, Shea's going to win back-to-back MVPs. No, like I think it's okay to be level-headed. And I think with Masai, you get a very charismatic guy. You get quite a good storyteller, and you get a guy who makes you feel really excited, frankly. Yeah. There's no Masai press conference that I've left. Quotes. Yeah, exactly. Like there's no press conference where you're going to leave where you're not feeling like pumped about the team.
Right.
Whereas with Bobby's, it's just a little bit of like, okay, I guess they let the IT guy do the press conference. But my view on this is I really don't care. I really don't care. Because you know what? When that role is vacated, it opens up the role for somebody else in your organization to do that. And that might be Darko. That might be Scottie. That might be BI. That might be Immanuel Quickley. someone's gonna have to hype up the fans because I think the fans are pretty dead sleeping on this team right now. But as long as Bobby does his job and he has a good strategy for the team, I really don't care about this stuff.
Yeah. No, agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
I think he's good. I think he keeps a level head. He didn't come out, gunning expectations. I like that I can't remember who asked a question about what do you see? Do you see 10th place, 9th place, 8th place, or he's like, nah, we're not doing that. I'm not about to quote what I think the win total should be or anything like that. He gave the Darko day-to-day thing, win the day, get 1% better, that kind of thing, which is, that's corporate speak to some degree, but it's also true. Like if you come out and give some sort of answer like, oh no, we expect to make the playoffs, or like, they're just expected to push toward winning, and that's it. I think they're going to do that. I think there's, and this sort of ties into the media narrative, the national media narrative on how they're I feel like they're kind of sleeping on the team. You look at, they haven't put it together yet, obviously, so we don't have a proof of concept, but you just look at all the main players, you look at them statistically, and they all look like above average efficiency players. When I say efficiency, I don't necessarily mean like PR or true shooting percentage, although they're not terrible in that regard. Once you stack Scottie next to BI, next to Quickley, next to RJ, next to Yak, you put them all together. Those are pretty efficient players across the board when it comes to production in general, right? Points scored, decent field goal. They all have a bit of a role and a bit of a niche carved out for themselves. RJ's might clash a little bit with Scottie and BI, but you look at them all together, and I feel like I personally feel like they are closer to the Orlando Atlanta tier than they are the Chicago tier, which is I
think they're right in the middle of those two teams. So like the Orlando thing, I do think Orlando is losing something, right? Like Caleb Houston was a part of their rotation last year. He was just gone for a minimum contract. I don't think they're going to miss Cole Anthony very much. I think KCP was horrible for them last year, although he was supposed to plug in. I do wonder why KCP struggles so much, though. Right? I mean, to make this glaringly, simple, or the Orlando Magic, the last time they had a above league average offense, Dwight Howard was still there.
Sure. Yeah.
So they've been bad. They've been really bad. The Raptors have also been really bad. So these are two teams that both have like really defunct offenses.
Right.
And that's partially because they don't have a tremendous amount of spacing. They don't have a lot of shooting. I do find it interesting that Jeff Weltman, former Raptors, assistant general manager, Jeff Weltman, built that team with these long, wings, right? And of course, if we're to believe that they really wanted Scottie Barnes in the 2021 draft instead of Jalen Suggs, they have a similar archetype, which is long-arm defenders who can switch, multi-positional. So whether you're talking Pascal, OG, Pascal, OG, Precious, Scottie, Thad, Otto, this bunch, versus Franz, Jonathan Isaac, right? So it's interesting that both teams have sort of deviated from that, realized, hey, putting 5 guys together who can't shoot is probably a recipe for a really bad offense. So I think the Raptors went out and they got BI. They went out and they got Desmond Bane.
Yeah.
I think the Raptors paid a hell of a lot less for BI than they paid for Desmond Bane, which means the Raptors technically have the cap space and the contracts and the draft picks to go out and actually get a Desmond Bane type player.
Sure.
And I'm guessing they're going to get a player that's better than Desmond Bane. So yeah, I'm curious, but to this roster, for all of its like, hey, that's a pretty good guy. Hey, that's another pretty good guy. That's another pretty good guy. I was looking at the roster. I was like, are there 14 guys who could reasonably make a case that they deserve minutes? Realistically, there are 14 guys where you're like, okay, I guess like would it shock you if, some injuries happened and Jamison Battle is suddenly the 9th or 10th guy, and he does really well in that role. That's nuts.
Right.
Or Jonathan Mobo, or shit. Like, I mean, I didn't count Elijah Martin in this, or Ulrich Chomsky. Right. But like, if there's an injury to Sandro Mamukelashvili and Darko's like, hey, let's roll the dice with 10 minutes of Ulrich.
Right.
Like, these aren't just bad players.
Right.
And they're definitely not like over the hill veterans who have no potential, like Kyle Lowry and Garrett Temple for the most part. Right. So yeah, it's an interesting group, but it lacks the shot creator. It lacks that like downhill 3 level. It lacks De'Aaron Fox. It lacks John Morant. It lacks that type of dynamic ball handler who can like. So it's just like at this point, you're hoping one of these very imperfect offensive players becomes a complete offensive player.
Right.
And that could be Scottie. I think like if I had to leverage out like the odds of it happening, probably the best bet is BI. Second best bet is Scottie. Third best bet is probably Immanuel Quickley. Fourth best bet is RJ. Fifth best bet, maybe Jacoby Walter takes like a crazy jump, you know?
Well, the funny thing is that to counter your point, given that they have what I think is a lot of depth, what you obviously think is a lot of depth, Jacoby might not see the court very much at all. Assuming they give Gradey the run that he kind of has been, working toward, right? So then you've got your first 5, then you got Gradey, then you need a backup. You need a backup point guard. So you got Shed, right? Then you have CMB. You got to prioritize him a little bit. Then you have Ochai, and now you're looking at him as your 10th guy. like it's going to be
okay. Well, I mean,
we didn't say anything about Sandro. Right.
I mean, in fairness, and again, this is like just projecting. When you play this physical defensively, you're going to go deeper into your bench.
Right.
So I'm going to say this right now. And I say this as a fully well-adjusted adult who does not need therapy. Okay. Just putting that out there. Maybe needs a little bit of therapy, but not like a lot of therapy, like not like an overdose of therapy, like a sufficient amount of therapy that everybody else needs.
Sure.
If Jacoby Walter is not in the rotation, I am going to pick it. Like I'm going to pick it outside the art. I was going to say the Air Canada's that are Scotiabanks that are like, what the fuck is going on here? No, Jacoby's a really good player. And again, sometimes people just say stuff, but they did make it known that they would have taken him top 10 last year. So he's not chop liver. He's important to them. And I can't see a world in which he is out of the rotation and Ochai is in the rotation. I cannot see that world.
Right.
People can make an argument that Ochai is better. I would not make that argument. I don't think Ochai is better.
Well, it could be if they are angling toward a trade. Let's say Phoenix comes out and just shits the bed, starts the year, 5-12.
Sure.
Right. And we're angling toward trading for Devin Booker. Right. Like maybe they give Ochai a bit of run. Hey, Ochai, RJ, few picks and someone else. Right. Like that's where I could see Ochai getting some run, but like, and then I kind of always have a soft spot for guys who develop later in life.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, you want the high ceiling guys for sure. If they think that Jacoby Walter is going to be a far better player than Ochai, and I assume, fingers crossed, he is. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Ochai to get any sort of meaningful run over top of Jacoby.
Yeah, I agree. I think because Ochai still has a contract situation going on, like he will be extension eligible.
Right.
I think his contract will let you know how they really feel about him. Right. I think anywhere north of $10 million and suddenly that's an asset you got to protect. Right. In the modern CBA, $10 million is you're a significant guy for us. Cam Thomas did not get $10 million. Right. Like, yeah, I think 10 million is like the new 18, 19 for those guys. So whereas previously I thought maybe a wing who can shoot threes and defend a little bit could get somewhere like 18 million, 16 million for Ochai.
Mm-hmm.
Do it for 1 year. I'd be very surprised if he gets anything north of 8. very surprised.
Right.
Because he's not a defensive specialist like Davion Mitchell.
Sure.
He's not a shot creator. He's pretty dime a dozen. Like, you got to be pretty special as a defender to get paid to be a defender in the NBA.
I was going to say,
So,
what do you think of his defense?
It is useful but somewhat redundant on this team.
Right.
So
Just
basically,
have the kind of length to be that Herb Jonesy kind of defender.
So he can shoot, right? But he's not a better defender than Jonathan Mobo, and he's definitely not a better defender than CMB.
Right.
So he's good. He's like very vanilla. You know, he's like a perfect C+ across the board, and he's got like a B+ skill, which is his standstill catch and shoot shooting.
Sure.
But until you can do that shooting thing in a more dynamic role, you can do it in a different variety of ways. You can do it away from the corners. I'm not really rating it. If Ochai comes out in preseason and he's launching them from like 26 feet and he's comfortable off the dribble, we can have a very different conversation about how good Ochai Baji can be. However, if he is just a stationary shooter, I got Jameson Battle for that.
Sure.
And if his greatest value to me is that he is a pretty versatile wing defender who has some pretty good on the ball chops, I got Jonathan Mobo, right? It's unfortunate I can't take, like, if I could Frankenstein two players, honestly,
Sure.
into like one great starter, it would be actually three players. CMB, his driving, Jonathan Mobo's point of attack defense, and Jameson Battle's jump shot.
Sure.
If I could put those three into one player, I would have the second best player on this team.
Right.
Like, holy shit.
I mean, you can say that about Gradey and Jacoby as well. I feel like Gradey and Jacoby's skill sets would complement each other well.
What skill does Jacoby lack that Gradey has, in your opinion?
Just the I feel like the creation game, and at the beginning of last year, I want to say the first like 20, 30 games, Gradey showed a really nice, like, get to your spot, pull up midi. And then, like, I feel like he's a slightly better 3-point sort of movement shooter, right?
It is the movement shooting, I think. Yeah. But I mean, Jacoby had some movement shooting chops, believe it or not, coming in. So I'm actually going to look up Jacoby's splits for 1 second.
Right.
Jacoby Walter splits, because he shot blistering percentages for most of the year. So let me just take a look at this. So pull this up. There's a screen share. Hold on. So these are Jacoby Walters splits. Shout out to ESPN for this, man. So in terms of like that first month, yeah, like that first little bit, right? 33%, but he got better and better and better.
Right.
And so March, April, February, like if you take those 3 months, right? Like he was about as good as it gets.
Right. Yeah, that's probably like an average of like 44% or something like that.
Right. So the more he played, the better he got. Right.
Oh, April. Sorry. April, he only played 4 games. So it's kind of
still, that's 20. Okay. So granted, that's 23 games.
Yeah.
If we add in January, that's 34. So in 34 games, right, I can make a good case that prior to that, like he wasn't really playing a lot of minutes. December was the only really like cold month you can really say where he got minutes, December, November.
Right.
But honestly, like beyond that, he was really good. And to me, it's great. He didn't miss, like, he barely missed a free throw in March and April. Like through 11 games. I think he missed like 1 free throw.
Right.
The rebounding is encouraging. The assist numbers are encouraging. Like, 14 points per game, 12 points per game. Like we saw him get better and better and better. And I think, it's just, again, like this is a bias. I know his trainer, and we talk about Jacoby, and like the way that this guy works is really like special to me. Yeah. He's working in between games. He's working in his off time. The second the season was done, he got right into the gym, messaged his trainer like, oh, I got to put on weight. Like, we're putting on 15 pounds. He's like, bet 15 pounds. So the way I see it is like Grady's had a year extra. Jacoby's, I think To me, if I had to rank it in terms of like, this is the player I must keep going forward, I would put it Jacoby, Gradey, Ochai,
Right.
RJ, like in that order.
Oh, sorry, Jacoby, Gradey, Ochai. Okay, that's
Yeah.
your power rank. Your Raptor 2's power rank behind
Right.
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, and somewhere like low is somewhere beneath them is like AJ Lawson, and then somewhere beneath that is Elijah Martin, whom I don't believe in very much at all. So yeah, that's kind of how I see that roster, and yeah, I'm just really high on Jacoby.
Yeah, I mean, I think he definitely has that sort of prototype, the OG Anunoby kind of prototype in a 2's body as opposed to a 3's body. But like, and I guess, where do you see his, when the time comes for his contract to be like to have his
Who,
extension?
Jacoby?
Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
he's coming in year 2, so like his contract extension was that year 3 or year 4? Does that
After
come
year 3, you can negotiate it.
after year 3? So like, if he gets to hit the peak of what you think his powers, you think he's just like unaffordable?
No, I don't think he's unaffordable. I think you'll make room for him. The cap
Yeah.
is going up.
Right.
Obviously, if he becomes who I think he's going to become, you're going to be a really, really good team. Because again, like there's so many things about him that really appeal to me. One, his physicality, right? I was thinking about like personality types that I believe to be successful. Why do I believe so much in Scottie? Why do I believe so much in Carter Bryant? Why do I believe so much in Jacoby? And it's just like there's questions that I ask myself about a person, and you get to know a little bit about these guys. You get to know it through people around them. You get to know it through watching them, listening to their interviews, watching them on the court. He's just so tough.
Right.
He's so fearless. And I appreciate that. In a guard, I really appreciate that. I've seen similar traits in a lot of really physical guards like Shea. I don't want to compare him to Shea. He's not Shea, right? Shea was a lot better at the same age. But that type of like invite physicality, be the toughest motherfucker on the floor, even though you're like, I don't know, like 185 pounds dripping wet.
Sure.
Throwing yourself into contact. He's got that scorers mentality, that kind of gunner mentality. He doesn't tend to doubt himself too much when he misses like 2-3 shots.
Sure.
Which I really appreciate about him. He doesn't back down from defensive matchups, which I also appreciate. He's not afraid to take a charge on like a 280-pound guy coming in through the floor. He doesn't care. He'll dive for the loose ball, even though there's 2 guys diving for it first. He's just really tough. And whatever he's made of, like that's what, to me, a starting 2 guard is supposed to be made of. Now,
Right.
If the dribble creation ever comes around, congratulations. You have, a hybrid of like Danny Green meets KCP because his shooting is really good. But if the dribble creation does come around, well, then we are having a very different conversation about Jacoby Walter.
Yeah, that's sort of year 4, year 5 type stuff. I don't think we need to, as long as he can attack the closeout effectively, like that's really kind of, and then make a decent decision. That's kind of what you need from him here, along with shooting.
Right.
I actually don't even remember. Does he movement shoot at all? Can he curl around screens, let it fly? I don't really remember.
Yeah, not to the level of Immanuel Quickley and Grady Dick, but certainly he has some potential to do that. He can shoot off the move. There's a comment here that he only did well against bad teams. I would like to, James, I know you don't like being proven wrong, but my friend, I could not let this one slide. So let's see. Did he actually play well against bad teams? Well, Atlanta missed the playoffs, didn't play well against them. Brooklyn missed the playoffs, didn't play well against them. Well, I guess he played really poorly against Boston because he shot 22%. He played pretty well against Cleveland. In 2 games, he shot 66%, 18 minutes. Not bad. I won't say he played well, averaging 5 points, but he didn't play poorly. Detroit was a playoff team. He averaged, in 2 games, he averaged 11 points per game against them. Houston was a playoff team. They were the second team in the West last year, much better than the Toronto Raptors. And in 2 games against them, including that crazy game, that he had where I think he started 14 points. He averaged 19. And the Houston thing was very important because he's from there. He's from that area. So that mattered to me. He's a Texas kid. Memphis was a playoff team when the Raptors faced them. and if I'm not mistaken, he averaged 14 against them. New Orleans was not a good team, and he averaged 14 against them. New York was a playoff team, and in 4 games against New York, he averaged 12, which is above his averages. Philly was not a playoff team. San Antonio was not a playoff team, but not a bad team. And in terms of like Sacramento was a terrible team. He averaged 1 point against them. Washington was a terrible team. He averaged 4 against them. I don't see any statistical validation. If he averaged over his season average against OKC, like there's nothing here that suggests he stat padded against the Charlottes and the Washingtons of the world at all. So sorry, man, the math is telling you you're wrong in that. And shooting 50% from 3 against the best defense in the East, or one of the best defenses in the East in Orlando, is impressive to me. Even though 8 points per game may not be impressive to you, and 24 minutes a game on his role, that's not bad. Against Cleveland, again, shooting 50% from 3 and 66%. These are the 2 best defensive teams, and that's a 6-game sample size. I'm sorry. No. There we go. J Pow saying I call BS. I call BS too. James. Rob, it is you who hates to be proven wrong. LOL. Oh, did I trigger something in you? Okay, let's be clear here. I like being proven wrong because I'm learning something new. Hopefully you're able to take this little, sidebar into Jacoby splits in terms of learning something new. Knowing you, however, I don't think you're going to take it that way. And that's okay too. Okay, moving on.
That game where he hit the buzzer beater against Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Was Orlando, like, did they have their squad? Like, did they play?
Yes, they had Paolo and Franz. They were trying to win the game.
Really? Neither of them were hurt at that time? Because they both had, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, they they benched Scottie that game, right? Like they were trying to lose that game more or less.
Yes, we tried to lose. We went in the fourth quarter up 6, and we tried to lose. We let Paolo get off. Paolo scored 22 points in the fourth quarter, and then
And if I remember correctly, while Paolo and Franz were playing, they were like a very good team. I would love to see their splits when they were playing. Like they ended up dipping down like way late, but they lost both Paolo and Franz for like long stretches. I want to say 20 to 30 game stretches. Like each one of them, I think, even had the same crazy ass injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
very, very. James, come on, man. You like what, 70? Like, this not gaslighting. You said something. I'm telling you, he didn't cook up against bad teams. You're saying they were tanking. There's really no need for name calling here. And honestly, these weren't bad teams. So if you want to, argue against the math, argue against the math. Good teams are not tanking down the stretch. They're getting ready for the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah, and also like I would say that if I don't know anything about the stats, like his statistical stats. I would say if it was maybe like later in the year, like you could make a case for like if half the league was tanking during the last couple months of the year or something like that. But if this was happening like mid-season, then there's
the Raptors were not good. He got better as the team went on. Obviously, I'm not expecting teams to be like dialed up against the Raptors in April. I get it. I get. Then stop calling names, Rob. Did I call you a name? James, you're about to get timed out. Chill the fuck out, okay? Nobody called you a name. People said you were wrong. That's it. I said you were wrong. Like my overall view on this is the more he played, the better he played. One could argue the better he played, the more he played. It's a really cart and horse argument. I don't really know. I think that was more a function of Gradey just not being in the lineup. And it just so happens that him playing coincided with the Raptors being the best they've been all year defensively. So in terms of the on-off differential, the Raptors' best defender last year was actually Davion Mitchell. After that, I believe it was Scottie Barnes. And then after that, I think it was Jakob Poeltl.
Right. So
those were like their 3 defensive. And then obviously in spurts, you got Jonathan Mobo. You got good moments from Jonathan Mobo. Right. So overall, it was Scottie plus aggregate because they were a terrible defense when Davion was on the team for the most part, right? But then after he was shipped, Bruce was shipped, Kelly was shipped, Boucher sat, you should get a lot worse defensively, but we didn't. Right. And I think a lot of that came down to Jonathan Mobo and Jacoby Walter just being really good. Yeah. Really good defensively. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. We kind of do you remember at the beginning of the year last year? What we'll say the first like 20 games of the year,
Mhm.
everybody was so positive about the team because they were playing well, right?
Mhm.
Losing the games that they probably should have lost to the very good teams by like minuscule amounts. They were like pushing the Bostons, they were pushing like Denver's to the brink, you know, losing close to the end of the game, which a young team is expected to do, and like, but then something shifted, and then all of a sudden they became the worst team in the world. Like they did just fine last year. They were
Yeah.
a 30-win team that was really probably like a 30, I don't know, 5 to 38 win team if they actually played their guys, if they actually tried to win. Like
Mhm.
I feel like they could have pushed 40 wins last year if they really, put the pedal down, right?
Right. And here's the thing. Like a lot of people will look back to that last year with Nick Nurse, right? We were 41 and 41, right?
Sure.
But that was 41 and 41 playing the starters into the ground,
That's right.
game planning every single game like it was our last game,
Yep.
and boom, there
Oh
goes
yeah.
Fred, 39 minutes. There goes Pascal, 42 minutes. Scottie, 22 minutes in the second half. Nobody's really developing. Like, let's just be real. Scottie had a down year that year. Malachi Flynn couldn't get in the rotation. Delano Banton's out of the rotation. You play one bad quarter, you're benched for like 6 weeks. The fact that Darko was able to play these guys and, as you're saying, actually put together a team that was very much capable of 40 wins, but unfortunately, due to injuries, right? RJ missed how many games? Like, he missed almost 30 games. Scottie missed 17 games. Immanuel Quickley missed almost 50 games,
Right.
10 of which were due to rest. Jakob missed time. Jacoby missed time. Gradey missed time. There's no way you're going to make a case that this team is just like this bad, you
Right.
know? So when people try to project, okay, well, I guess Brandon Ingram lifts you from 30 to 38, I'm just like, wait a second. We're already a 38 win team.
Right. Sure.
Emmanuel quickly being healthy and Darko not trying to lose games and Scottie being motivated to win games probably lifts it to 40, no BI included. So when you tell me that, if somebody tells me the Raptors are going to win 39 games, I'm like, are you suggesting that Brandon Ingram makes this a game worse? Because I think he solves our biggest problem. There's a really sneaky chance that the Raptors are like a
46
50
wins.
win team
Yeah.
for 45 to 50 in a weak East. We're already seeing so many injuries. Tyler Hero is out. Scoot Henderson is out. Fred VanVleet is out. Like, these are a lot of teams, man.
Yeah.
And, who knows? Like, injury luck is going to be everything. Last night I was so gutted. I don't know if you're watching the WNBA playoffs, but Nafisa Collier just got hurt. And I was just like, no. I was
Oh,
really rooting for them.
I saw that post of yours on Instagram of like the most gut wrenching injuries. Yeah, no, that was gruesome. I hate watching that stuff for sure.
Yeah, injuries are an inevitable part of sports. I know that. I busted my ankle like three summers ago, and it still kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah,
But man, watching Scottie go out in game one against Philly, watching Juju Watkins last year, watching Fee right now, like, these are some really gut punching type of injuries. Kobe's injury was like that. And people might assume because I'm a Raptor fan that I was cheering, I wasn't too disturbed by the fact that KD got hurt. The minute I saw him go down, I almost had tears in my eyes. I was
yeah,
like, no, because this dude was like in his late 20s, and I'm like, is one of the greatest players of all time. We just lost his peak. So yeah, I mean, injuries are such a huge part of it. So it will come down to who's healthy, right?
yeah,
Like, we saw what happened with the Magic last year. Jalen Suggs, if Jalen Suggs is playing, Jalen Suggs is really good,
right.
really good player. And it's probably a good thing the Raptors have so much depth, because the idea that they would just, I bet you almost anything there's going to be an injury in training camp. Like a minor knick-knack, like bruise this, bruise that. It just happens. We're a very physical team. Touch wood. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope we have zero injuries all year, but like, it's a good thing we have depth.
Yeah, like look at all the reports of all these guys coming out right now. Like, we haven't even played a game yet this season. Like Fred, ACL. Everyone on Memphis is apparently injured. Like Triple J, Brandon Brandon Clark, all their bigs, Zach Edey are out for like 4 to 6 to 8 weeks or something. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what? Like, is it just like they're getting injured in like pre-training camp, or like what is
Yeah.
happening to these guys?
Yeah. It is. It's teams are doing their mini camps. The Raptors have had a fantastic summer this summer. I will tell you, like they are very unique. Because I was talking to so tomorrow, you know about AJ Devonta, right?
I know of him. Yeah.
I'm interviewing his trainer tomorrow, so I'm really excited.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I heard that.
So we're gonna be doing a deep dive on proprioception, injury prevention, all that stuff. I'm really excited. So I was talking to another trainer friend of mine, and we were just talking about like how regular or how common what the Raptors do in the summer actually is. And he was just like, it's not common at all. This type of guided approach to development is truly like Europe, college. That's it. Pro teams don't do this.
Right.
It's so weird. Jordy is trying to do something similar in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Largely because he comes from a European background as well.
Sure.
But this type of like Jacoby, like your summer is entirely booked with us. If you want, opt in or not. But it's kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you don't opt in, we're probably not going to feel too happy about you right now.
Right.
You know,
school me. What's been going on? I've not paid attention at all. Have they been?
So they've
like,
had
like Rico Hines runs for a while, and they were, you know.
Yeah, there's not really any Rico Hines runs right now. So it's not it's hard to explain. Okay, so basically there was a period of time in Raptors summer where DeMar, Kyle were heavily involved in getting guys together, you know, making sure guys came in early for training camp and stuff like that. And then for a few years, it just kind of went away, especially when DeMar went, you know, when Kyle left. Like it just, there wasn't that institutional stability where Fred and Pascal Moore had like a, I'm here, y'all want to come with me, you know?
Right.
They've taken a very different approach now. So like they've had groups of guys who've just been together all summer, right? And it's been really cool. Like they've been floating in and out, bouncing between, I think like Austin, Texas, and then Houston, Texas, and then there's like some shit in LA, Florida, Toronto, guys coming here like months early to work out with the coaching staff. And then the cool thing about Darko's coaching staff is they're actually here with them. So, you know, if you need their help, they're not coaching national teams this summer. They've devoted themselves fully, and they'll fly. They'll send someone out to go check in on Scottie. They'll check in with him like every week or every 2 weeks to see how he's doing. This is what we need from him. Right. This is what your role is going to be. Checking in with BI, getting the entire team together during summer league. The open gym episode that dropped today shows like Scottie, BI, those guys are scrimmaging with CMB, with Elijah Martin, right?
Nice.
So that organizational, we are together, even though we're off, like the Raptors have basically had like a 1.5 year off season.
Right.
Like, I don't know how else to say it, y'all. They basically had a 1.5 year off season. And I know this is real life and this is not NBA 2K, but let me tell you, I did something like this in 2K once, where I just punted an entire season, played guys 20 minutes a night. Like my whole rotation played 20 minutes a night. It was just like, it was a rec league, right? Lost every game I could to tank, and then just ramped up everyone's development and mentorship to like extremely hard, like every day we're practice. And like the next year, everyone got so much better. And that's how I kind of see this team is like Darko was probably like a secret NBA 2K fan. And he was just like, wait, what if the games just don't matter for an entire year and we just focus everything on development? Right. There's a video, I'm forgetting the content creator, it has like 9,000 views, and it's talking about like the Raptors are the greatest what if team. It's a really good video. It's a good video essay. And in it, he starts talking about like all the main pieces of the Raptors, right? Like BI is great, but he doesn't get to the rim. Immanuel Quickley is great, but he can't get to the rim. Scottie's great, but he has no pull-up game. RJ's great at getting to the rim, but he can't finish at the rim.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a really interesting team, right? We've assembled this team of like everyone's got everything except for that one thing. And guess what everyone was asked to do? It's the exact thing that he says they can't do.
Right.
Like, oh, Scottie can't pull up from mid-range. Hey, Scottie Barnes, how would you like mid-range pull-ups to be your main shot diet for an entire year, right? Immanuel Quickley, oh, you like floaters, but you can't get to the rim? You're getting to the rim every single time. We need you to get all the way to the rim. Avoid, your base tendency. And by putting people in optimal situations, it's like, I'll put it like this. And I've been trying to explain this to people for an entire year and a half to 2 years with Darko, and people don't understand. Let's say yourself, me, you, and one other person. Who do we know? Do we know anyone? Do we have anyone in common?
Coach Mo.
Okay. Yes. You, myself, and Coach Mo. And we are in one of those academic decathlons or whatever, like where everybody's got to answer shit. Right. So I'm like the finance guy, right?
Yeah,
And you're like the music guy.
Sure.
Right. And let's just say I don't know too much about Coach Mo's life. Shout out to Coach Mo. But let's just say Coach Mo is like the chemistry guy, right?
Sure.
Well, it would make a lot of sense for me to handle the finance questions, for you to handle the music questions, and for Coach Mo to handle the chemistry questions, right? That makes a lot of sense, right? That's what we would do if we wanted to win. But what if there was a big prize if you become the worst team, right? Like, what if you're really bad? But also, you're like, I really want Rob to be better at chemistry, and I really want Vince to be better at finance, and I really want Coach Mo to be better at music.
Yeah.
So, yo, Rob, you don't remember AP chemistry, but you're gonna answer all the chemistry questions. And Coach Mo's like, but what the fuck?
Yeah, sure.
I'm the chemistry guy.
Guys,
But
just do it.
But that's exactly it. They flip all the roles. They get everyone like 5% better at the things that they're not good at. You lose a ton of games. Set the expectations super low. It's not like Bobby Webster came out and said, y'all don't realize this, but we're like a 50-win team sitting in plain sight. And Vegas doesn't know it, and y'all don't know it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, I'm watching this team, and I know Coach Darko is not stupid. Like, you'd have to be dumb to try and win games the way they tried to do it last year.
Right.
I remember saying it even in October, November. I was like, this defense is designed to fail. I just wanted to check. Like, I actually have videos, but I'm like, this defense is trying to lose games.
Right.
And people are just like, what are you talking about? Teams don't try to lose games. You're just coping. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Like, we've got Gradey Dick guarding Jalen Green 48 feet from the basket, and we're asking him to hug up on him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oops. Like, I just want to know, like, what the brain function is of the person who thinks that that's legitimate defense. Like, man, like, I can't believe Gradey can't do that. Like,
I know. Gradey, you got the best wing assignment on every team. For like, okay,
this
no
is
problem.
This is like Vince Carter. You got Shaq.
Yeah.
Antonio Davis, like, am I chopped liver? Antonio Davis, you got Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, neither one of us has a chance at our matchup, but like, come on, one of us has a better chance than the other one. Like, come on, man. No, it's interesting. It was a very interesting experiment. Obviously, people don't understand that. People look, I think a lot of the media, a lot of the people that are just like very lazy with their takes, like Scottie, so, his stats don't count because they're on a winning team. Did you see the Scottie stat? I'm just curious.
No, which one?
Oh, we have something to talk about. This has been really funny. It's been kind of low key going a little bit viral on X for the last little couple of days. First of all, like a couple things. Let's just get your opinions on this. This is Kyle Lowry in year 20. What do you think? What do you think of KLO?
We'll say I don't think he's on. I don't think he's on the same. What's that workout that he did in Toronto? Soul Cycle. He's not on the same Soul Cycle routine he was on in Toronto.
This is crazy.
I wouldn't go so far as to call him Skinny Kyle. You remember when Pat like called him his skinny Kyle when he came back?
Yeah. Someone said he ate all the weight that Zion lost. Okay, this is the stat. Okay, players in NBA history to average at least 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block over their first 4 seasons of their career.
Come on, what? No way.
Only
really?
2 players ever. I checked. I was like, yo.
Wow.
And someone's just like, I got tagged in this one so many times. I am like probably the internet's biggest Scottie Barnes fan.
Yeah.
So clearly decided to go all in on this. Right.
Do the side by side.
The side by side. They're basically
no shame.
twins,
That's
right?
why we love you, Rob. That's
yeah. And then I was like, y'all really don't remember the first 32 games of Scottie's 2023-2024 season, do you? And this was the first 5 games. The only players ever to put up 100 points, 50 rebounds, 25 assists, and 10 blocks in their first 5 games of a season, any season. Yeah. Not 3rd season, not 2nd season, not 8th season, any season ever. These are the only players who've ever done it. Larry, Giannis, AD, KG, Barkley, and Scottie Barnes. It's a fucking weird list, right? Here is something crazy also, and this one's going to blow your mind. NBA players to average over 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1.5 blocks on 40+% true shooting, okay? Plus 60% true, 40% three-point shooting, plus 60% true shooting while playing 10-point games, 10+ games.
Yeah.
There's only 2 players in NBA history. Can you name them?
So, NBA players to average throughout a season?
No, for a month.
Oh, for a month. So 26-6, 1.5. On that surprises me that Scottie shot 40% from 3 for the month.
He did.
But
he shot 39. He shot 39% for the first 32 games of 2023-2024.
I mean, this is
sorry. There's 3 players. There's three players who've ever done it in a month.
It's the blocks that are throwing me off. Like Kobe never averaged a block and a half.
Correct.
Like Michael, probably not even. I don't know. Like Dirk, no. What do I have to go way back? Like Oscar Robertson? No, but he wasn't a 3-point shooter. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you one guy. I'll say Michael. Just like
Michael
MJ.
is okay. Well, obviously one of them is Scottie Barnes.
Yeah.
So who are the other 2?
So MJ and
nope.
Really?
Nope. T-Mac? Nope. KD? Nope.
Because who's got the blocks and the 3-point percentage? That's what I'm trying to.
Vince, I told you I told you. You know what? I'm a very honest guy. I've been honest with you pretty much since I've known you. Yes. I told you my first lie. There weren't 3 players who've ever done it.
Who is it? Oh, okay. It's just one. Was Scottie the only guy to do it? Come on. That's a fucking red herring right there, my friend.
That's crazy. Yeah. So
bro, even if Scottie can shoot 34% for 3 for a season, like
for real. Last night on playback, I was allowed to pick the halftime show.
Okay.
Can you guess what I picked?
Yeah, go ahead. You should have the controls.
Let me see.
Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Pin for real?
Yes, for real.
Go ahead, bro. Do your thing.
Okay. I edited this. Y'all hate on it. Ron, don't boo me.
Leave me alone.
I made them watch the entire Scottie Barnes thing. 4 minutes in, they were like, this guy's pretty good. 5 minutes in, they were like, how long is this thing? You see the comments. No, bro. Doing this, bro? Oh, right. Oh, my God. It was hilarious. But it is my secret pastime is making Americans watch Scottie Barnes highlights.
That's right. They're going to know this year, man. This year.
They will know for sure.
This is the year.
I finally lip read. I want to turn this music down just in case I get a copyright flag. This is the official transcript of the Thaddeus Young Scottie Barnes.
I was about to ask. You and Draymond, bro. I said 50. I said 50 points. That's funny.
Yeah, that one's going semi low-key viral. I always get a little bit worried when like I see 400 people bookmark something. I'm like, oh shit, that's gonna come back to me.
That's funny.
This is my official next player's choice contract. Little clause that they put in. So 5.1 contract term 5.1 panelist agrees to stop mentioning VORP and box minus as a means of shutting down eye test discourse. And 5.2 panelist agrees to limit mentions of Scottie Barnes, Scott Wayne Barnes Jr., Scottie the Great, and Big Four to no more than 3 times per episode. However, Player's Choice, shout outs to Player's Choice. They responded to this saying, don't blow it. And I said, I'm just going to call him Baby Jordan to get around this legality. Don't worry.
Yeah. Baby Jordan, him and Harold Miner.
Hey, better than Harold Miner never shot 40% from three either.
True.
This is Player's Choice's top 25 under 25. What do you like? What do you not like about this? So at 1, we got Anthony Edwards. I tried to push for Wemby, man. I tried. Number 2, Victor Wembanyama. 3, Cade Cunningham. Number 4, Zion Ozempic Williamson. Number 5, Paolo Banchero. 6, Jalen Williams. 7, Evan Mobley. 8, Franz Wagner. 9, Chet Holmgren. 10, Alperen Sengun. 11 and 12 is Darius Garland and Tyrese Maxey. At 13, Tyler Hero. At 14, baby Jordan. And at 15, Amen Thompson.
Where do I even start? This could marry well into the ESPN list.
Yeah.
So the whole, like, these lists are so stupid, and I fall for it every fucking year. Every year, I'm just like, I'm not even gonna read it next year. It's so dumb, right? How they come up with their actually, I was gonna ask you because I didn't read it.
We'll get to the ESPN thing. What do you not like about this one?
Well, okay, I look at it this way.
Mhm.
If the teams that have these players, if you were to approach the teams that have these players and say, like, if the Toronto Raptors were crazy enough to call the Miami Heat and say, we will trade you, we really like what Tyler Hero's got going on, we'll trade you Scottie Barnes for Tyler Hero.
Yeah, but that's trade value. This is who they are today. So they're saying right now, not as assets, they're saying Tyler Hero is a better basketball player today. Tyrese Maxey, Darius Garland, better basketball players today.
Sorry,
I
Tyler
agree with
Hero's
you.
not a better player than Scottie Barnes. Neither is Darius Garland. Even though Darius Garland is good, right? Scottie Barnes is a better overall basketball player. And I think that if they were to call Cleveland and say, hey, we'll trade you Scottie Barnes for Darius Garland, they would be tripping over themselves to answer that call. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I mean, the 17, 7.5. So he's on his career, he's averaging not 1 year, career. He's averaging 17 points, 7.5 rebounds, 5 assists, over, I think, 1.2 steals and a block. That's what Scottie's averaging on his career. Once again, the only player in NBA history to hit those marks through 4 years is Michael Jordan. Right. Now, I just told you that he's averaging 17.2 points per game through 4 years. Would you care to venture a guess as to how many points Giannis averaged in his first 4 seasons?
Yeah, I'm going to say in that ballpark, maybe like 18, 19 points.
Less.
Less than Scott. You said Scottie was at 17?
No, you said 18, 19. I said less than 18, 19.
Oh.
Keep guessing.
15, 16?
Less.
14, 13?
14.9.
Wow.
Kawhi Leonard averaged less than Scottie Barnes throughout his first 4 years. Guess how many points he averaged?
I would say 15 points, maybe.
Less.
13, 12? Really, across 4 years?
Yes.
Holy shit.
12.9.
Wow.
He averaged 12.9. So again, who players are in their
zero-level scorer? Crazy.
Right. And I think people are going to look at the the analytics and the advanced stats, and I'll be like, well, on the one hand, you want to penalize one guy for being inefficient, but he's his team's best player. At what point was Kawhi his team's best player? He was not his team's best player for 2 years in his first 4 years.
Right.
You know,
what
Giannis
was he in when they won the chip?
That would be his 4th year, I believe. That would be either the tail end of his 3rd year or the 4th year. But he was not the best player at that point. Right. Manu Ginobili was still a better player. He just won Finals MVP.
Right.
And honestly, if you put Scottie next to Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and frigging Tim Duncan,
right?
Like, do you see how good he would be? Okay, so here's my kind of like conspiracy theory here. I think the Raptors were a little bit unsure of Scottie after year 2, right? He took a really big step back in that year, and that's the 1 year where I'll truly say it was bad. Right. Okay, year 2 was horrible. I was having a lot of trouble defending him after year 2, and I think the way he handled that summer and then came out like gangbusters, and it was just like knocking down threes. Again, first 32 games before he traded OG, 39% from 3 for 32 games. 39% on high volume, higher volume than Kawhi,
Right.
higher volume, higher efficiency than Kawhi.
Right.
So when you take it that far, and the analytics also were like a 5.8 box plus minus, to give you an idea, 5.8 box plus minus is higher than all but 6 players in the NBA last year, and all of them are superstars.
Right.
So when you take that type of evidence of 32 games, the Raptors just pulled the plug on it.
Right.
They had Scottie with Pascal, with Gary, with OG, with Dennis,
Right.
with Yak. That's a competent group of NBA players,
Yeah.
right? There's no like, oh, that's not an NBA player. No, those are all NBA rotation players. Even if the bench is not super great with Precious Achua and Chris Boucher and all the whatever, you may be like a couple pieces away with that team. They blew it up,
Right.
right? They shipped out IQ and Pascal for less pieces, like pieces that were less than. And they handed everything over to Scottie and said, okay, now do it in a different way. We saw you do it as a role player. We saw you go out and average 22 points per game, 21 points per game, become an all-star, but you did it as a kind of like a role player, right? Like you did it as a catch and shoot guy who's catch, and basically the role he'll have this year. We
Right.
saw you do it. We know you can hit shots. We know you can hit layups. Go create your own offense. Go be dynamic off the dribble. Go beat your man off the dribble by yourself without an assistant, without a screen.
Mhm.
And he couldn't do it. And now people are holding that against him. But it's like, was Kawhi asked to cook off the dribble in
No,
his third
no,
year? No.
It's
So-
like them getting rid of the big three when they got like they're not getting rid of Tim, Manu, and Tony Parker.
Mhm.
Right.
So it just kind of comes down to not a lot of players have been asked to play against their strengths. Even these like Jalen Green types, right? The guys who are basically asked, Cade Cunningham. Is Cade Cunningham asked to play against his strengths? Has any player in the 2021 draft actually been asked, hey, I know you're bad at this, go do more of it? I don't think that's happened.
No, Cade has been put in the perfect role for him throughout the first 4 seasons of his career. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the coverage of Cade and Scottie was fair. Like Cade is supposed to come in and be an engine. Scottie is supposed to come in and be not a scorer. So compared to like, here's how I always look at it. Cade's a smaller athlete. Cade's the worst athlete. Scottie's a bigger player. Scottie's a smarter player, in my opinion. So if Scottie ever figures it out, he is the one with the MVP potential. Relative to where they came in, relative to what was expected, I think Scottie has clipped his expectations by about 200%.
Right.
I think Cade has fallen short of his expectations by about 30%. Now, the fact that Cade put together the best overall season last year,
Yep.
leading his team to the playoffs, he was awesome. Can't take anything away from it. He was really good, improved the mid-range efficiency. He had a lot of good players around him, though. A lot of good players around him. And it's like people are willing to just overlook the first 3 seasons, but it's like you shouldn't. He also shot like, I think 19% from 3 in the playoffs. And people are just willing to just look past it. Like, oh, whatever. You know, we saw the great season. People are looking for any reason to prop Cade up and push Scottie down. The idea that Scottie is 14th on this list and Cade is 3rd is, to me, that's the crazy part.
Right.
I still think Scottie's better than these guys. I think Scottie, like I would put Scottie 3rd on this list if I'm being not a homer. I'd put him 2nd if I was being a super homer. I'm not putting him over Wemby. No offense to Scottie. Sorry, man. I'm not putting you over Victor Wembanyama. That debate might be cleared for a while. But Anthony Edwards, Scottie Barnes, to me, it's like I know Ant's better right now, but he's not a better defender. He's not a better passer. And until I see all of that come together, I can have a conversation about these two. That's the tier that I see him in. I see him like a best player on a really good team.
The only players I see ahead of Scottie on this list is Wemby, J-Dub, and you would have an argument for me about Ant.
Paolo?
No, I think the things that Paolo does well can be replicated through lesser players. Whereas I don't think that Scottie's I think what Scottie provides in his overall game can't be replicated. Is like there's no one person on that list besides Wemby that can do all the things that Scottie does. Not one.
Right.
Zion, nope.
Well, I don't think
And
Wemby can do all that Scottie does, but I also don't think Scottie can do what Wemby does. So like I just think if we were talking defensive, like there's no who's the second best defender here? That's a good question to ask. Like it's either a man or Scottie.
the Scott.
It's one of those
Okay,
two.
sure. Yeah, sorry, I forgot
It's
about
one
it.
of the it's one of those two. The best defender on this list is Victor. Actually, it's probably Chet. It's probably Chet. Chet's probably the second best defender on this list. But after those two bigs, because I value like rim protection above everything. In terms of basketball defense, we have to have like some. Go ahead. Sorry, what?
He doesn't have the sand. To me, Chet, like whatever, Chet is obviously good. He's got the rim protection thing.
I mean, he was on pace to win defense. He was on pace to beat Wemby for Defensive Player of the Year the first few games. I just think like look, it's just context is so important in basketball, man. Like any player who's ever been good at anything, you know that when your teammates suck, your life is really hard.
Right.
And you know when your teammates are good and they know where to be and they're talented and you can put the ball to them, your life becomes really easy and you become a lot more efficient. So to me, the same thing works on defense. When you carry really weak defensive units, like your job is really hard as a defender. When you're surrounded by Alex Caruso, J Dub, Shea, Lou Dort, like your job is a lot easier.
Right.
What I would love to see is Scottie in the J Dub role next to Shea. If we could swap those guys for just one season, I guarantee you the Thunder still win a championship.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's a different, like what J-Dub provides is a little bit different on that in the context of that team than what Scottie would. But that said, they could make it work. They could make it work with Aaron Wiggins or Isaiah Joe, like to include like to prop up the shooting. But no, I don't disagree with you. I love J-Dub. Don't get me wrong. I love J-Dub.
Yeah.
Like to me on this list, my favorite, like I kind of look at it like, okay, look at on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Of all those 15 guys, who would Scottie have the most trouble scoring against? Because I tell you right now, he'd cook Zion, he'd cook Cade, he'd cook Paolo, he'd cook.
He has
Franz.
I think Franz is a better defender than people realize. I think he would have some trouble against Franz. I think Evan gives him some trouble too. I can't believe I forgot about Evan Mobley in terms of defenders.
Yeah, no.
I think Scottie is okay. I think Scottie's the fourth best defender on this team. I think he's fourth or fifth. He's a top 5 defender on this team, on this list. He's a top 6 offense, top 7, top 8 offensive player. So it's like it kind of comes down to how much do you value two-way impact.
Right.
If the 7th or 8th best offensive player and the 5th or 6th best defender isn't the top 3, top 4 player on a list, I don't know what is.
Right.
Because to me, it's like, what made Michael Jordan so great? Who can you attack him with?
Right.
Where can you attack him? He's not weak in the paint. He's a good rim protector, right? He wasn't like bad as a help side defender. He wasn't bad in the gaps. He's not unattentive. It's like you have certain students that are like A+ in chemistry, A+ in physics, and then they get like a D in something. They get a D in art history. They get a D in, gym. And they're like, well, I'm a scientist. I don't care about my gym marks and my, vocal marks. But then you get this student who's like a solid B in like everything. That's Scottie right now.
That's right.
He's a solid B in everything. He's not quite the defender that Wemby is. He's not quite the rim protector. Someone like Chet or Evan Mobley are.
Sure.
He's not quite the toolsy athlete that Amen Thompson is. He's not quite the downhill scorer, self-creator, large jumbo creator that Cade or Paolo are. But he's kind of like this like player who does everything.
Right.
And I think that's very important because if that player who does everything can figure out how to do one thing really well, be it catch and shoot, be it post up, be it mid-range turnarounds, then that player is a superstar immediately.
Yeah.
But they're like the rarest type of superstar, which is like the superstar who doesn't have weaknesses.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people are going to see this year, man. This year's like they're like in the same way he was effective playing off of Pascal,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's going to that effectiveness is going to come back, and one could argue that BI's skill set is even more complementary to Scottie's strengths than Pascal's was.
I agree, because Pascal shot, like, I want to say for the first little part of that year, he was shooting like close to 20% from three. So as impressive as Scottie's numbers were, he had a player who was with him who was not buying into his role and couldn't buy a jump shot to save his life.
Right.
And I think BI, and again, this is an assumption, haven't heard anything specifically, is going to buy into the role that Pascal didn't want to buy into.
Right.
I think Immanuel Quickley can buy into the role that Fred didn't want. And I think in a way, and I understand they're very different players. Scott, Siakam and BI has been a comparison that's been around for years. People have been comparing these guys for years. They're in the same draft class. BI is a little bit younger, but people have compared them for years. And I think most people who actually really study basketball have always kind of fought against this idea that Siakam's better. Like, they've always been like, yeah, but he was in a better situation. Put BI next to Kawhi and Serge, and he'll win a championship too, Totally valid. BI's had some really great moments, but he's also had some really bad teams, really bad situations. And he also had to play with a very unserious superstar in Zion.
Right.
I think Siakam's had like a lot better luck in terms of like role definition, teammates, structure, all that stuff. So now seeing BI in a role where, you have a coach who trusts him, who's going to believe in him and really put him in a situation to succeed. You probably have the best big he's ever played with. Is that a lie? Like, Jakob Poeltl is so much better than Jonas Valanciunas, Yves Missi, and whoever the hell he's played with. Granted, still not a stretch big. Oh my God, we're gonna get to that. Jakob Poeltl being worse than Jonas Valanciunas might be the most egregious part of that list.
In what fucking universe? Please.
That is really good question. Yeah. James Walsh with the correct comment here. The thing is, Spicy is a better defender than BI. That is true. He is a better defender than BI. What's the gap though? Like, how much better a defender? Right. Is he like 20% better, 30% better? I will argue with the Raptors, he wasn't very good. With the Indiana Pacers last year, however, he was pretty amazing. And I was really impressed watching Pascal play defense last year for the Pacers. I was like, wow, this was not there. Like, when I was ripping apart this guy's defense in the tape and he wasn't boxing out, he just wasn't trying. It's almost like there's a part of me that's kind of happy for him in Indiana, but there's a part of me that's really pissed off about him in Indiana, because I'm just like, why couldn't you do that for us? Like, you're playing off of Halliburton. Is it so much worse to just agree to play off Scottie? I guess it was just an ego thing of like, I've been here, so it's supposed to be my team or some bullshit like that. But yeah, like he I think, it'd be very interesting to see like if BI is able to keep up with Siakam this year defensively, because obviously BI's already said like he intends to have like one of his best defensive years, and he's like, oh, everyone here plays defense. That's team's identity. I don't want to come in and mess that up. So I appreciate him saying that. But yeah, I think offensively there's a lot that BI does better than Siakam. Historically, I think he's a better shooter. I think he's a better off the dribble creator. Siakam's a better post player. BI is a better mid post shooter, better bag, better handle. BI is a better shooter overall. I think BI is a better shooter on all three levels. He's a better shooter. Siakam's a better paint finisher, more frequent paint player, much better transition player, and definitely a better off-ball player in terms of like screening, cutting, all that stuff that Siakam does. Like, Siakam's kind of like figured out. If Darko can get BI to buy into some of that stuff, if he can get him to buy in defensively, and he can get him to buy into moving a little bit more with the basketball, making himself just a little bit more dynamic when he has the basketball, getting to the rim a little bit more. I'm not trying to take away from the mid-range stuff that he does, but get to the rim a little bit more.
Right.
Up your three-point, volume by about 15-20%. I think he could have like a really surefire all-star year.
Yep. 5 to 6 threes a game, something like that.
Yeah, easy. He's already hit that mark. Or we're not talking makes, right? We're talking attempts.
Yeah, attempts.
Okay. six threes a game made. Yeah. Oh man. MVP season loading.
That's
okay.
Six threes on 14 attempts a game. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's making the training camp roster? Who's making the regular season roster? You got to cut. Okay, so we got 21, right? Legal limit is 18. And that's 3 two-way spots, which, by the way, right now are already assigned to the guys who are starred. That's Chucky Hepburn, Elijah Martin, and Ulrich Chomsky. And then you get to carry 15 players. Now, the Raptors are over the tax. So my guess is they're going to carry 14 plus 3. So you got to cut 4 players here. Who are you cutting?
God damn it. I mean, the only argument I would have is like I would like to try to keep AJ Lawson if possible.
What do you like about AJ?
I just like his, I like his
Canadiana?
hockey. I like his, like can he be on a two-way deal? You can only have 3 guys on a two-way.
You can always cut one of the guys on two-way and then sign somebody else to the two-way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know enough about Chucky Hepburn. I know he was signed. He didn't make the draft, but they signed him after, kind of Fred VanVleet style. Is that right?
Yes, it is right. He was also one of the better players in college basketball last year, but he is a 4-year senior and quite frankly did not overwhelm during summer league last year. He played last year for the Louisville Cardinals. I think he averaged 16 points, 5-6 assists, and yeah, really good defender, really pesky, on-ball defender.
Right.
He averaged 2.4 steals per game, but a little bit undersized.
Can we move Temple to an assistant coach role, and because that's essentially what he is, and then get AJ Lawson on the team? Can we do that?
Man, if we have to lose AJ Lawson to preserve Garrett Temple's NBA salary, that's really funny. Yeah, but assistant coaches, my friend, do not make $3 million.
I guess can they waive or like can they stretch him and then
waive and stretch a guy on a 1-year deal is fucking crazy.
What's the rule with that? You can do like once they waive and if they were to waive and stretch a 1-year contract, can they do it next year with some other contract? Not that they ever.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, like, I would like to pay Garrett Temple his $3 million in installments over the next 300 years.
Yeah.
That would just be great. Like Garrett Temple, can you sign on to that? He's just like, oh, bro.
Can we get you to plant some trees? And
okay, exactly. We would like you to plant some trees. So here's the thing. I think there's a lot of roster redundancy here, and there are, frankly, just pieces that are missing from your roster. So in terms of who is 100% safe, obviously, Jacoby Walter, Jamal Shedd, these guys are safe. Quickley, Pirtle, CMB, Jonathan Mobo, Sandro, Ingram, Dick, Barrett, Barnes, Abaji. In terms of who might be on the move if the right offer comes along, I would say Dick, Quickley, Ochai, Barrett. Those would be like the 4 guys who I could see moving. Maybe Mobo if Colin Murray-Boyles really pops off and they find that they can't play those two guys together.
Right.
So in terms of like who are like locked in, it's like Scottie, BI, Jakob. That's your core, and Jacoby and CMB. I think those guys are here to stay for a really long time. And like beyond that, I think you can move some pieces around. Obviously, my check marks are Jamison Battle, Ulrich Chomsky, make it. Chucky Hepburn, Elijah Martin, and David Roddy are on watch for me, and Olivier Sarr, Jared Roden, and AJ Lawson are gone for me. Though I'm not saying AJ Lawson's not a good player. He is a good player. It's just, why do you need him on a team with Jacoby Walter and Ochai and Gradey and Brandon Ingram and RJ? Who's he playing ahead of?
Yeah.
You probably, if you had to rank these guys in terms of like roster need and fit, you might put Olivier Sarr over him.
Right.
David Roddy, I'm just biased. I liked him in the draft. I heard Masai liked him in the draft. I kind of got ready for us to draft him, and then he just went a little early to Memphis. So, Roddy is a good shooter, which is, he's a pretty decent defender. He's very stout. I could see him playing undersized 4. Just so happens you have a lot of undersized 3-4s on your team. So he might be one of those situations where it's like roster fit doesn't make sense either.
Right.
If nothing else, I would probably waive all these guys and try to sign a backup point guard, and just in case Jamal Shedd doesn't work out. because you don't have anybody.
Right.
Like I'm talking like Patrick Beverly,
Oh God.
like not specifically Patrick Beverly, but like Patrick Beverly-esque. You know,
Right. Yeah. I don't like who. I mean, who even exists in the league right now that you can sign Russ. You can sign.
Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons. Can we bring them both?
Yeah.
Do you think there's like a 2-for-1 deal from the league,
Right.
just so everyone shut up about why the hell they're not, why they're not in the league? Yeah, I just think you need like a steadying veteran point guard. But reality is, if AJ Lawson is the reason that your team doesn't win, like if not signing him or signing him is the reason your season, like your season's already done.
Yeah. Other things wrong.
There's bigger fish to fry than whether or not AJ Lawson. But you know, like I think people always have this sort of like, you know, is he may what if he goes on and becomes this really good player? You know, people were sending me Delano Banton's Portland stats for like a week or 2 weeks straight. They were just like, can you believe he had 18 points? And I'm just like, yes, I can believe it. You know. To the people who say Michael Jordan's, Scottie Barnes' numbers don't count because, he hasn't been on a winning team. Well, I will tell you that Scottie has finished twice 500 or above in his first 4 seasons, and Michael Jordan only finished once. Therefore, the agenda continues. Baby Jordan is officially lit. Yeah. Okay. ESPN's top 100 list. I got to pull that up. Right. And you will tell me what you think of it. Hold on. Top 100. Okay. Where the hell is it? You want to... What the fuck? Oh, Raptors Republic. Never mind. 50 to 10. You want to react to 50 to 10 or... Oh, okay. I got it.
I mean, I don't even need to really react to any specific, ranking, because it's just such a dumb overall thought project, or like the way they.
Where should RJ Barrett be for you? If 100 is dumb, where should he be?
To me, okay. This is how I look at it. Before I give you like my number ranking or whatever. Like I don't have the wherewithal to put all of the facts together, pit guys against one another, and say, okay, RJ Barrett should be 80 or 85 or whatever, right? But the way I reacted to this list was the exact way it was reacted to. Have you ever seen the Jeff Teague podcast with?
Yes.
He's on with his brother and then a couple of his buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the way they reacted was exactly how I react. Like what? Like they would say, LaMelo Ball came like 66 and Brandon Ingram 77. They're like, what? And what's his name? Alex Caruso.
Where did LaMelo Ball actually come? Hold on, let me just figure this out. Where is LaMelo Ball?
He's in the 60s, I believe, somewhere.
I thought he was in the... Is he really?
Yeah, I think he's in the 60s.
61 Zion, 62 Christian Brown. Ah, shit, 63. Okay, so Christian Brown last year was the number one. Hey, man, respect Christian Brown. He was the number one transition efficiency guy last year. Most points per possession in transition, a.k.a. a Nikola Jokic merchant. But that being said, shout out to Christian Brown. There was an analytics study that was done on the true value of players on the rookie contracts. Christian Brown's true value was $28 million last year.
Sure.
Just want to say we traded for Thaddeus Young. Okay. That's the guy.
Pick?
We could have gotten Christian Brown.
Yeah. I am not disrespecting Christian Brown, but if you ask Christian Brown, bro, who's better between you and Brandon Ingram? He'd be like, Brandon Ingram's better than me. There's no conversation.
That's just because Christian Brown's humble. That's why he's 62, because he's humble.
If you ask Alex Caruso, who is a better basketball player, you or LaMelo Ball, he'd be like, LaMelo Ball.
Okay, so you like LaMelo Ball. Do you like Trae Young as well?
So it's not a matter like I don't like LaMelo Ball in the content. Like I don't like him in the role that they have him. Like here you go, heliocentric guy, whatever. I think that's not. I
Okay.
don't think that's like he needs to flesh out his game. But in
Okay.
terms of better, right? Like when somebody says, okay, who's the better basketball player? Like, okay, I understand we have to take defense into account for sure. It's one of the reasons that Scottie is so much better than so many of his peers. But you cannot discredit the type of skill that LaMelo Ball has. We'll say this. If LaMelo Ball wanted to shift his focus
Right.
to defense, he could do so far more effectively than Alex Caruso could shift his focus to offense in the same way that LaMelo
Okay.
Ball.
So if LaMelo Ball tried his absolute best, okay, let me put it this way. If LaMelo Ball, okay, I'm saying this is a very, very big Alex Caruso fan, by the way.
Me too. I
If
love Alex
if
Caruso.
LaMelo Ball, if we said LaMelo Ball, we have your children, we have your wife,
Yes.
you have your dog, okay, go out there and lock up,
Yeah.
okay, as best you can,
Yes.
best defensive game of your life, or you're never gonna see these people again, okay.
Right. And offense does not matter.
And you could do whatever the fuck you want on offense, but defense, we got this.
Yeah.
The best he can ever be is 25% as good as Alex Caruso.
Sure.
That's
sure.
the best he's ever going to be.
You think so?
So,
Come
yeah.
on.
There's no fucking way you think this guy can be as good a defender or anywhere close to the defender Alex Caruso is. I think defense is a real skill. Okay, maybe with his dog and his kids on the line, we can get the 35% of Alex Caruso on a good day.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll say, okay, obviously physicality plays a role on defense. And so you kind of have to have like the best defensive players all have to have an innate natural gift that doesn't exist in those who aren't typically like I would say your comp works far better with Trae Young because he's so slight of frame.
Okay.
Right? Like maybe LaMelo,
That's
you know, go lift some weights for a little bit before the game and you know, and like stiffen that upper lip and you know, like I don't know where he ranks in weight.
I mean, go lift some weights before the game
Yeah.
so that you can be like 1.5% stronger to match up when your 90% of your issues are yeah, really. I mean, what makes Alex Caruso so special defensively? I feel like this is what I really want to get into that with the trainer interview tomorrow. The ability to anticipate where your opponent is going, the muscle memory of the physical toughness of Alex Caruso. Like this dude's strong. He was guarding Jokic. Think about that. If LaMelo Ball gets Nikola Jokic, and also, is there like an unquantifiable dog element? Like does LaMelo Ball just not have dog defensively? Because I'll tell you, like, there's nothing LaMelo Ball is going to do that's ever going to turn him into a better defender than CMB. CMB got dog. He got active hands, active feet, switchable hips, long arms. LaMelo Ball doesn't have very long arms.
I can't wait to see CMB, dude.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see. Would you be surprised if he came out? Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. If I wouldn't be surprised at all if he was one of the 3 best rookies to come out this year.
3 best.
Yes. So you got Cooper, and then I don't know between
Harper,
VJ. I don't think it's going to be Ace just because of efficiency. You know who else went ahead?
Half his teammates injured. Embiid is injured. Paul George is injured, and Jared McCain is injured. I feel like he has a pretty easy pipeline to win Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Like he has a clear field ahead of him. Not to mention, he's in the East. So that's going to help him.
Right.
That's not going to help Dylan Harper too much. Dylan Harper's got a really, really tough path ahead.
Yeah.
He's not the defender that Jeremy Sohan is. He's not the defender that Carter Bryant is. And he needs the ball in his hands.
Right.
And they already got Steph Castle. I wonder if in a year or so, maybe the Raptors need to call the Spurs and be like, hey, the Dylan Harper thing's not working out for y'all. How would you like to swap.
How about RJ and Gradey for and two?
I'm thinking if CMB works out for us and Dylan Harper doesn't work out for them in a year, you might be able to call them about making that swap. You need this. We need this. You maybe don't want to extend. I don't know. Maybe that's very ambitious of me to assume the CMB can rise to those levels. But man, he was the best player in the SEC last year. He was pretty young. Like, I know he's older because he's in his second year. He's a second year player, but he's young for his class. So, relatively speaking, there's no reason for him to be the best player in SEC last year, and he was.
Right.
It's a really good player.
I think if that hypothetical was to play out and it doesn't quite work out in San Antonio, would you think, like, because teams would be lining up, like the shit bottom feeder teams would be lining up to give, like, crazy pick packages for Dylan Harper. But do you think if that was the case, San Antonio would prefer something like an RJ, a Gradey, because here are two NBA players with at least one specific good skill each, right? And
I've always felt like San Antonio would be a really, really good fit for RJ. I don't know why. I think but then they got De'Aaron Fox, and then I'm like, unless RJ becomes like a knockdown 3-point shooter, I really don't see that. But with Wemby, it could make some sense because RJ is like this downhill driver, and Wemby's going to turn into a spacing big. It kind of makes some sense.
RJ's not. He's not a terrible, like, 3-point.
Would you do RJ and Gradey for Fox?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
So what are you doing with Immanuel Quickley? You're starting them both. You're starting this kind of like super small backcourt of Fox and IQ. You could do it. I mean, technically, you could do it. You'd be pretty small, but you would at least be like a very offensively dynamic team. De'Aaron Fox downhill all the time, right? BI, damn, Scottie might not crack 16 points per game on that team, though.
Yeah, come to think of it, maybe not. Like, sorry, not because, like, in a vacuum, I would do that trade.
If you had another deal lined up for IQ?
Yeah, maybe. Like, you need a
I'll give you a 3-team trade. Okay. Does this work for you? Immanuel Quickley to Sacramento, Zach LaVine to Toronto. No Zach LaVine. And you're sitting here supporting LaMelo Ball. Please make it make sense. Do you know LaMelo Ball shot like 33% from 3 last year and like 40% from the field? Like, he was about as inefficient gets.
It's funny because I'm not even a LaMelo Ball fan, and I am like a Alex Caruso fan. You know what I mean? Like, I love the way those guys play. Don't get me wrong, but the way I look at it is that, like, if you ask the players themselves, who's the better player between the two of you, I feel like they would say,
players cannot be trusted, Vince. Shea told me that Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan. And he's an MVP, okay?
Right.
He's an MVP. Nikola Jokic told me horse racing is more important than basketball. He cannot be trusted. Joel Embiid told me he's going to play for Team USA. Yeah. LeBron told me it's never his fault, okay? Michael Jordan told me to take the over on the ponies, okay? I'm just saying, these players might be great basketball players. They may not always be the greatest basketball knowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Cannot always be trusted.
All I know is that those lists are horseshit. They should stop being put together.
Okay.
I don't like the discourse around it. I don't like pitting guys against, like the whole ranking system. Like, this guy's better than that guy. This is better than that guy. Like, it's all context dependent.
Right.
The way they come about, it's just like what's the term? It's an exercise in futility. There's no point in it.
Okay. Can I push back on that?
What's that?
Let me push back on that.
Okay, sure.
So oftentimes on Player's Choice, we'll have, the 20 greatest players in the league, or the 25, best power forwards, 10 best centers, whatever, right? Mars Talk Sports, who's the guy on Player's Choice that, Mars is awesome. He just did the greatest 10 players at every single position all time, right? And I was asked to vote on it with 17 content creators across the world, including Nerd Sash, including Legend of Winning, everybody. Like, we all chimed in, and our votes were cast. And I think what that showed me was, yes, it seems clickbaity, top 10 centers of all time, top 10 players, top 25 under 25. And I've known a lot of people who felt this way. One of my friends, Leo Bias, who's been on this channel, Sacramento Kings guy, he feels this way too. He's like, oh man, these lists are all garbage, blah, 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 blah. But let me put to the other side. Sometimes these lists can be a means of discussing deeper basketball things.
For sure.
So thinking basketball right now, it depends on who's doing it though. See that, once again, it comes down to who is doing it. Everything comes down to that, right? A trip to the mall is pointless.
Right.
It depends on the person doing it though, right? Like, like a stroll around the block is useless unless, somebody's doing it. So the way I see it is, thinking basketball is currently doing the top 25 players over the last 25 years.
Right.
It has been a fascinating listen. Every episode they break down, they're going from 25 to 1, and every episode they break down 1 to 3 players.
Cool.
So Kawhi, Giannis, Jokic, whatever. Like, Jokic hasn't come up yet. I'm assuming he's going to be very high. They broke down Kobe. They broke down KD. They broke down Steve Nash.
Sure.
Jason Kidd. And then it was amazing. It's an amazing podcast. I listen to it every time the episode drops. I'm like really excited. I'm like, yes. And I go to the gym, I work out, and I listen to it because they're talking about things that make deeper basketball sense.
Sure.
For instance, did you know that Jason Kidd's teams scored 10 points more at the rim when he was on the court and when he was with the Nets?
At all.
But he was not scoring those points.
Right.
For the vast majority of the time, he was not the one actually scoring those 10 points. What is it about Jason Kidd being on the court that makes his team so great? There was another term that's come up a lot in that podcast, which is turnover suppression. How does a player's on-court impact limit turnovers? So per 100 possessions, let's just say you're like 15% less likely to turn the ball over when Shea is on the court.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
Turnovers are the worst thing an offense can
Right.
do. A live ball turnover is literally the worst thing you can do, because the inverse of it is to give the defense the best thing, which is a live ball turnover for offense transition with an advantage. It's the easiest thing. Live ball turnover out of context, out of place, out of balance is the worst thing, period. Because if you have bad floor balance, a live ball turnover is guaranteed 2 to 3 points.
Sure.
There's nothing else that's a guaranteed 2 to 3 points. An open three is not a guaranteed 2 to 3 points.
Right.
It's a guaranteed like at least 1.3, 1.4,
Yeah.
but it's not 2. So if it's a game of margins, then a player who can cut down turnovers and increase the frequency of offense that goes to the rim when they're on the court, even though they themselves are not the people driving that offense to the rim. They're not the ones taking the layups.
Right.
That's an amazing thing. And that's, again, like, that comes down to, okay, the top 25 under 20, the top 25 under 25 can draw people in, but now we can have a philosophical discussion about what is more valuable, rim protection or defensive versatility.
Yeah, I think I'm more about when you're highlighting players' strengths. I like that, but oftentimes what these lists end up doing is penalizing guys for, like, Brandon Ingram for being injured. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, Brandon Ingram is a fantastic player. You and say what you will about Paul George's podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has been in his career a phenomenal player.
Which of these players is better than him? Brandon Miller?
What's that?
Is Brandon Miller better than? I'm just going to ask you the players ahead of him, and I just want to see how many of these players are actually better than him.
Who? Paul George?
No, better than Brandon
yeah.
Ingram.
Okay.
Brandon Miller?
No, of course
Jaden
not.
McDaniels?
Of course not.
Jabari Smith?
No.
Derek Lively?
Like, you could quibble with that based on defense, but I would still say no.
Zach LaVine,
No.
Kobe White,
No. Michael
Yeah.
Porter, no. Josh Hart, no. Tyler Hero, no.
So I would push back on Josh Hart and Tyler Hero, but okay. Cameron Johnson.
Again, now you're talking about like you're baking in defense here.
Movement shooter, bro.
Shooting.
Movement
It's-
shooter.
yeah, no,
Better
it's like-
defense, better
so
shooter, better
team
off-ball
dependent.
player.
Here's what okay. If BI had to concentrate on his,
I'll tell you this: Lou Dort is not better. Christian Brown not better. Austin Reeves not better.
like Jalen Suggs, like
Miles Turner is definitely not better. Isaiah Hardenstein's not better. Dyson Daniels is not better. Paul George might be better. Low key, he had a terrible season, but yeah.
So
Cooper
if
Flag
you-
is not better.
So if you asked Trey Murphy III, who played alongside Brandon Ingram, who saw what Brandon Ingram single-handedly did in the
Right.
playoffs in 2022, Trey Murphy is going to say Brandon Ingram's a better player than me, right? Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, it would like if you're giving him truth serum, right, and you ask who's better between the two of you, right, and yet he's ranked 21 spots higher. Sorry, 19 spots higher. No, sorry, 21 spot. No, 19. Never mind.
Don't worry, I made the same mistake. I made a very similar mistake the other day, and people were laughing at me.
Right.
I think I couldn't figure out like what 18% of something was. Okay. I don't think it matters that much whether Trey Murphy thinks Brandon Ingram is better or not, because that's subjective.
Sure.
You know, he's younger. He may look up to BI. People's opinions are not necessarily void of bias. And obviously, when you've looked up to a guy and you see what he does in practice every single day, I think what this list is attempting to measure is value added next year, which is why someone like Scottie Barnes, who is, to most people, if you asked average NBA fans, who's better, Dyson Daniels, Scottie Barnes, I think they would say they're probably the same range of player. Dyson racked up a whole bunch of steals last year. Scottie shot terribly. If you ask the average fan who's better, Austin Reeves or Scottie Barnes, most people pick Austin Reeves, bro. I hate to tell you that, but it's true.
Yeah.
People would pick Paul George. People would probably pick Cooper Flag. And if this is what would people say about it type of list, Scottie's probably like 48, 49. At which point I'm a lot more mad. But this list, I think, and it is wrong, because I think they're going to be very wrong about BI, and I think they're going to be very wrong about Yak, and I think they're going to be very wrong about Jonas Valanciunas' impact, which is insane to me.
Right.
There's some things that I can quibble with. However, I think what it's attempting to measure is what is this player's value on winning.
Right.
And so the question of, is Cam Thomas a better basketball player than Jalen Suggs? I mean, it depends on what you're measuring. Are you measuring scoring? Are you measuring scoring volume? Are you measuring the ability to score 24 points? Or are you measuring my ability to impact the box score? Which is to say, when I'm on the court, like hypothetically, I'll define a player. This is the greatest player of all time, by the way. I'm going to define the greatest player of all time. I make my team's offense 14 points per 100% better, 14 points per 100 possessions better, and I make my team's defense 9.5 points per 100 possessions better. I'm now the greatest player of all time. Does it matter how I do it? Does it matter if I get 5.5 steals per 100 possessions, or I get 6.5 blocks per 100 possessions, and that's how I'm doing it? Does it matter that I'm just shooting logo threes and I'm just a cheat code? I can't dribble the basketball, but somehow I've been given the divine gift of God that I am just unstoppable from 52 feet. I can just shoot from backcourt, and I just ting three. The score is moving up. You can't stop me. And look at you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you do it. At the end of the day, that's what I like about analytics. That's what I like about numbers, is like, for people who actually understand basketball, the numbers are fascinating because it cuts through all of the eye test shit. And it just goes to, what is the value of Brandon Ingram's creation relative to Trey Murphy's ability to unlock space for a star?
Sure.
Right.
Yes, this is when you get into the nuance of it, and I think that's I tend to be a little bit more player driven. So like, if it to me, I think my perfect list would be get however many people vote on this at ESPN, get that many
150.
NBA players, but they aren't allowed to vote for themselves or their teammates. That's it. That's the only stipulation.
Okay.
Right? And so if you got them to drink truth serum and say like who are the top 100, I would love to hear what the players rank list would be. And I
Well, I
think
can guarantee it would be very, very different.
it'd be so different. So different. And I think Scottie would be ranked.
But players would probably put Anthony Edwards over Victor Wembanyama. And I would disagree with that. I think Wemby's better.
You think they would?
Yeah, I do. I kind of know how players think, because I've talked to enough players now to know like how much they emphasize shot creation, bag work, star. Because you got to realize every player was a star at some point,
Sure.
right? Carter Bryant, Pat Bev, Colin Murray Boyles, everybody.
Pat
Everybody
Bev.
was a 25 to 30 point per game scorer. That's how they came up knowing basketball. I'm
Right.
great because I can score 25, and my teammates are not because they can't. So now, let's say a 25 point per game scorer moves from high school to college, but now he's asked to buy into a team context and be the third option, right? Because there's somebody who does what he does better than he does, right? That's like literally pick a guy. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I'm sure Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and James Wiseman and Precious Achiuwa had no problem putting up 20 in high school.
Sure.
But when you get to the college level, those numbers drop. Now you get to the NBA level, you're asked to buy into a role because there's 8 guys on the team who can do that better than you, and only 2 guys get to do it. So now the question then becomes, and this is a philosophical discussion, is Jalen Suggs not better than Cam Thomas because Jalen Suggs is worse at doing that thing that all the players think is great than Cam Thomas, right? And it's just like, do players accurately value intangibles, defense, leadership? Are they accurately scaling? Are these players even watching? That's a mega factor for me. Like, to me, to have a discussion about Jalen Suggs, and I've had a lot of discussions about Jalen Suggs, I've come to become a huge fan of Jalen Suggs, right? Initially, I hated on him like really hard because Raptors media just kept saying like, "Oh, we should have picked Scottie. We shouldn't have picked Scottie. Jalen Suggs is gonna be better." I hated Jalen Suggs for that, right? But once I got past that, I was just like, this guy's a fantastic basketball player. I love him as a role player, right? I think he does like a million things on the court that you have to watch to see it because the analytics aren't picking it all up. But when he's on the court, it's just like, it's such a cheat code of stabilization. I'm telling you right now, if you replace Immanuel Quickley with a healthy Jalen Suggs, we're winning like 55 games. Healthy. Like his point of attack defense, his pressure up top, his ability to guard the rim, his like ability to stitch like 2-3 defenders. Switch 2-3 positions. His ability to actually increase now shoots. He's a transition demon. He's a really good athlete. None of this translates to 20 point per game all-star, but he's just like this utility guy. Derek White is another one. Derek White does everything. Derek White can protect the rim, protect the paint. He can like protect on the perimeter. He's active, handsy in the passing lane. I'm not denying this, but like, you do realize there was a time when Pascal Siakam asked 30 games into the season if the Sacramento Kings were good. And that was during the light the beam season. He didn't know. These guys aren't watching. So that's why I don't trust players always.
Do you think that to push back on the Suggs versus Quickley debate, do you think on this team, like and I'm not asking to be argumentative, I'm asking like genuinely, does Jalen Suggs, does he have a pull up threes in his game?
He's okay. He's not Immanuel Quickley, but he's a way better defender.
So maybe for the sake of the team mix, IQ skill set might actually complement our team a little bit better. Just given that, just like that spacing, you have Scottie on the back line, so he can clean up a lot of mistakes that IQ might make up front.
Yeah.
And let's also give IQ the benefit of the doubt that last year was just a fucking wash on all
33
fronts.
games, man.
He only played 33 games, and then also the team, right? So you put those two things together, and nothing is what it actually is. So like, if he goes back to being that same kind of off ball, pesky defender that he was in New York, maybe he can like he's never going to be Jalen Suggs, obviously, but like maybe he can kind of be an average to slightly above average defender. And if that's the case, I would take that along with the pull up three capabilities.
Suggs is Suggs sees the game better. So that's my view on it. Suggs has a more pure point guard view of the game. He's not necessarily a point guard because he's not like they've each got one part of the point guard equation figured out. Like it's funny to me. So like on the other day on Player's Choice, we were having a discussion about Fred's injury and how important it was. And you would expect me, with all the stuff I've said about Fred over the years, to be like, it's no big deal. The guy's a bum. But that's not what I said. I said they couldn't have lost a more important player to what they do as a basketball team.
Right.
He unlocks everything for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's just good enough defensively. He's just heady. He's just a good enough pull-up shooter. Everything's on the margins, but it's right there. You know, he's not Chris Paul as a passer, but he's good enough as a passer. Like he's not Jalen Suggs as a defender, but he's good enough as a defender. Fred is a great example of what it means to achieve the 80th percentile of everything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's a B plus.
He's a B plus basketball player, right? And that's very valuable in terms of steadying the ship, unlocking synergy. Like people are like, oh man, Alperen Şengün is going to be a great post player. Who's feeding him the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Steven Adams is a great screener. Who's using the pick and roll with him? It's not Reed Shepherd, right? So it's not Amen Thompson. So I think there's sometimes like there's these players that are just so much better than what they are because they're like amplifiers. I think Scottie has like some amplification qualities himself, like Suggs, like Fred. He has that sort of like basketball intelligence that makes him like a cheat code for everybody else around him. And I think that's important, but Suggs has that too. So yeah, like I really like Jalen Suggs. I think it'd be great to see him in Toronto someday, man. That would just be a dream come true if he can ever get healthy. Nembhard is another one. You know, Andrew Nembhard's another one. Just like super freaking B plus across the board. Not a great shooter, good enough. Not a great passer, good enough. Really pesky defender. I just like these sort of generalist players who don't have a lot of weak spots. Like, to me, I'm building a team. And my goal is I have to win a championship. Anything beyond a championship is a failure. Who am I picking? Dyson Daniels or Trae Young? I'm picking Dyson Daniels, bro. I'm picking Dyson Daniels because, yeah, I know Trae Young's a better basketball player, but I don't think I can build a top 12 defense with Trae Young, as evidenced by the fact that the best defense he's ever played for is a 19th ranked defense. Ever. I think that might be wrong. I think it was the top 20. His teams have never finished top 20 in defense. Ever. Top 20 in a 30 fucking league. There's 30 teams in the league. That's how bad he is.
So if the team that was going around Trae Young was Wemby at center.
Okay. If you had to start at Wemby, you already lost. Okay.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Wemby at center, Bill Russell at power forward, Scottie Pippen at small forward, Michael Jordan at shooting guard. Yeah, now you're good. Okay.
I was going to use guys in the league now at least, but no, I was going to, and I was also going to say, I wasn't going to use
or Evan Mobley, or if you have Wemby or Evan Mobley or Chet Holmgren, you will be automatically top 20 by default.
There you go. And then you have Cam Johnson on the wing, and
Dyson Daniels already got him there.
No, I'm saying instead of Dyson, like if you have Trae Young, Cam Johnson, Wemby, say Jabari Smith, and like a Danny Green type at the two. Who's the modern day Danny Green?
Honestly, it doesn't exist. Danny Green might be like the rarest of rarest archetypes.
Like a 1-of-1.
He really is a 1-of-1. I think like among all the players in Raptors history that I feel like get slept on, Danny Green and Anthony Parker are like the two guys that I always think about. Like I'm like, those guys really don't get their flowers, but they're really great basketball players.
Yeah.
The modern day Danny Green. That's a good question.
I feel like Desmond Bane maybe might be that, but like
Danny was never the passer that Green is, nor was he ever. Nor was he ever the live dribble creator that he was. It might just be like a better version of KCP. Like Danny Green was to me was like a better KCP.
Right. Yeah, like he took after the Bruce Bowen kind of model.
How about Aaron Neesmith? Aaron Neesmith is showing me a little bit of Danny Greenisms.
Yep. Mhm.
So yeah, he's got a little bit of it in him. Uh,
But
honestly, Cam Johnson's a little bit Danny Greenish as well.
Yeah.
He's got some Danny Green as well. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I think it's interesting. Like these deeper philosophical discussions. I don't know how many of the lives the last few weeks you've seen. Obviously, by the way, thank you. By the way, you're the first person I've had a chance to actually thank for signing up for memberships. Thank you. I appreciate you. Dude. Hit 6,000.
What do I give you? $2 a month? $5 a month? How much? I don't even know.
I think you're a chat. Are you a chatter or a baller?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, if you're a chatter, you're paying $3 a month, and if you're a baller, you're paying $5.49 a month.
Oh shit! I might have to move up. I
move up.
Yeah, I move up in the ranking. I'm not sure. No, okay. Dude, you're the best, dude. We love your content. You keep it a buck every single time, and you're real. It's like long format. It's refreshing. When all you see is the bullshit. Sorry, I do like Raptors, certain Raptors guys. I like the Raptors Republic guys.
Shout outs to Raptors Republic, Samson Folk, Esfandera Barhanis, Trae, pull up Trae, Louis Zatzman. Yeah, man, they do good work.
I like all those dudes. I'm not the biggest Will Lou guy. I find his partner to be sort of annoying as well. But that's not because of the basketball coverage. I
plead the fifth.
I don't love it.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, here's what I don't love. When guys aren't, when YouTube personalities or whatever, people in media, when you're not naturally inherently funny, don't try to be funny. Because it just looks like you're trying too hard. And that's like, to me, like you're just trying too much to be funny when you're not naturally funny people. Like, if you're a naturally funny person, then yes, let that humor come, let it fly, right? But to me, it sort of gets in the way of the podcast. I'm like, you're trying to entertain me too much, and I want to know news. Like I want to hear, analysis. That's what I'm here for. Right? But anyway,
I think
that dude. Did you just get a new one?
Yeah, we did. Shout out to I am real for becoming a YouTube member. Thank you very, very much for becoming one. Yeah, man, it was very important for me. As I think I've told you this even the last time we met. I was telling you I was trying to pay off my mortgage. I'm talking about this a lot. Was I not talking about it when we went to the Raptor game? I was like, I want to pay off my mortgage. I want to pay off my mortgage.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So yes, because this YouTube membership, the bonus, I think I'm gonna be able to pay off my mortgage this year, which is like, oh,
you're living the dream.
Man, I'm 37 and I'm about to be 38 and I'll get to pay off my mortgage. Like, what a freaking dream. And it's been really great. The last few weeks have been very unearthing, like in terms of like life stuff.
Yeah.
It's been like very interesting. What's been going on with you? How are you doing? How's the new house? How's your basement? How's your Ty Lopez basement?
I'm living out of my garage right now. No, this is.
She kicked you out, bro. Winter, bro.
Right.
Winter is coming.
I'm just waiting for the day. I'm just getting practice. I don't know how much longer she's gonna be putting up with me. But no, that construction. I think I showed you my patio. We just moved into this place in July. As you can see. Haven't fully unboxed everything yet. I don't want to be putting out ads for Home Depot here, but there's still shit that needs to be unboxed. We think it's going to be a more of a winter months type project. But the main priority now is this shed in the back is being converted into my studio, where I can go back to actually recording music, like I have a full like 7-song album sort of like waiting to be released. But I just don't have the time to put together all of the fundamental infrastructure that is required when releasing new music.
So you let me know when you release it. Will be your in-kind sponsorship partner.
Oh, dude, yeah, I would absolutely love that for sure. Actually, I was going to ask you about like filming video. Like, do do you do that for other people? I'd like I know that you're concentrating heavily on the stuff for yourself, but if you ever film for other people, I would totally hire you to come out and like shoot live stuff that we might do, or once the thing in the back is done and I can actually record out of there.
Right.
Next spring, summer, I have this whole like concert series already kind of going through my head.
Right.
And I'm going to want to capture some of that stuff live for sure. So like if you've ever, I don't know if you've ever worked in that space, but you're the first person.
Live music?
Like not like just the performance part of it. Like if we had everything mic'd properly and whatever, we would take care of like the audio aspect of it. But just getting good visual is I need somebody who I can trust to get good visual.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've done a lot of that stuff. I can actually, I think I can show you some of it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, didn't you say? I think you have a close friend who's like an incredible piano player, right?
Yeah.
Is this what we're watching now?
Oh, this is the entire studio reel. So this is like
Oh, nice.
film work. I'm pretty sure this is like live event stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is your movie. I recognize that.
Yeah. Let me think here. What was I gonna ask you?
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's Elevator. Shout out. I know what I was gonna say. Thank you so much for encouraging me to go see Cigarettes After Sex.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so fucking much for that.
Yeah,
so
dude.
Okay, so to anyone out there who does not know, one of our community members, shout out to Leanne Chapman, sent me a message. She's like, hey, like Rob, I have these tickets. I can't use them. I can't make it to Toronto. It's Cigarettes After Sex. I never heard of Cigarettes After Sex. Didn't even know who the fuck they were. I feel like a total noob for not knowing who this band was. But Vince did know who they were. So I messaged him and somehow like he just let me know. He's like, they're a really good band. I think you had a friend who might have been interested in them.
Yeah, it's my buddy Matt Dusk, who's
Right.
also a recording artist in his own right.
Right. And I ended up somehow like I went with my girlfriend. I think you kind of encouraged me to do it. You're like, go with your girlfriend. Like, it's gonna be a great date. Now she bitched and complained the entire time. Okay. Which may have, subtly started to lay the seeds of like, we're not gonna be together for a very long time. But that being said, she complained about it a little bit. She was just like, it's not my kind of music, whatever. But I became entranced with this band to the point where I now listen to Apocalypse like at least once a month, quite a few times.
It's a big tune.
K, such a great song. So yeah, man, like what the hell, man? This is a great thing. Another song that I've really fallen in love with is Cleopatra by I don't know if you know it, Luminaires.
Oh, Lumineers. Yeah.
Lumineers, yeah. Cleopatra, you know it, right?
Yeah. Is that the song that you put behind the Instagram reel for like, the ad for this? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've been listening to a lot of music lately. That's been a big part of my last few weeks is like listening to music, and then also like really getting comfortable with like emotional regulation in moments. I've found myself like kind of losing my peace a lot, reacting to things a lot. So it's like learning to stay calm in moments like that, learning to, there's a reel that I posted a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago. It was like Novak Djokovic who was talking about, like negative thoughts, right? And he was just like, there's this coach who's just like, what do you think separates like great players from like not great players? And they're just like, well, maybe the great players don't have as many negative thoughts. And he's like, no, great players have even more negative thoughts. They just know how to regulate them. They know how to push them away. They know how to silence it.
Dial it down.
Exactly. So it's like, I may have a negative thought now and I might deal with it for a total of 16 seconds. Whereas the same negative thought 20 years ago, I would deal with for like 16 hours.
Right.
So cutting that refraction time down, or a refractionary period, I don't know if they call that refractionary period. So cutting that down has been huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that use him as an example because it, like an opponent of his, Roger Federer, came out with I'm sure I'm gonna butcher this quote, but it was something along the lines of like, he's won in his career, he's won, I don't know, 65% of his matches or something, which is
54.
Is it 54?
I believe so, yeah.
Like the amount of points that he's won,
Mhm.
like the amount of points.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
64% of his matches, 54, like 52% of his points or something like
yeah,
that.
exactly. Something's
I
incredibly low.
apologize. Yes.
Yeah, and so if you think about it, what's the point of being angry? Well, like, why are you going to why are you going to like be mad at yourself for missing that drop shot or double faulting or whatever? You move on. It's 1 point. It's 30-15. Let's move on from that. Like what you just gotta you can't stay locked in the mode of being angry at yourself or being angry at the world or maybe the judge ruled a ball out when it was actually in, whatever it is. Like,
Right.
just get past it, and it'll make you a better person, a better player at the end of the day.
Emotional regulation is so important when it comes to even basketball, but like success in general, all these things. I was hold on, I'm actually gonna pull it up. There were 13 questions. I was thinking about this a lot today. I was thinking about like what 13 questions would I ask to see if someone was going to be successful, right? So these are the 13 questions. I'm actually curious to know what you think about these. So the 13 questions that I would ask when I meet somebody: what is your attitude towards correction?
Right.
What's your attitude towards gratitude? Kind of rhymes there. How
Mhm.
good are you at problem solving? Third thing. What's your attitude on delayed gratification? Like how willing are you to delay your gratification to, what traits do you focus on and value in others? 6, who holds you accountable? So I want to know, is it your mom? Is it your grandma? Is it you?
Right.
Is it your boss?
Mhm.
Are you resilient? Like, would you define yourself as resilient? Are you process focused or results focused? And which one do you lean towards more?
Right.
Uh, how do you start and close your day? Like, what's your morning routine? What's your nighttime routine?
Right.
Like, your nighttime routine include planning for the next day, or is it like you pass out on the couch like a comatose patient?
Right.
How aware are you aware of your own weaknesses? That's 10. Number 11, who do you spend the most of your time with? And describe them. Like, I want to know, like, are you spending your time with someone who's consistent, ambitious? Or are you spending your time with someone who's toxic?
Right.
12, how good are you at saying no to things that don't serve you? Boundaries. And
Right. Sure.
number 13, on whose opinion did you build your self-esteem?
Hmm.
So those would be, in my opinion, the 13 questions that I would ask when assessing every prospect, every person,
Mm.
every potential partner, as I now get back into the dating world potentially. These things, like I would be looking at these 3 things and I would look to answer them as quickly as 5 minutes. Like 5
I
minutes,
see.
I want to know like who's holding you accountable, and I used to walk into dates, like for most of my life, try to walk into dates trying to make an impression
Sure.
on somebody. Like I want to appear like successful. So I might, you know, casually boast about some, triumph recently, or maybe I want to seem interesting. So I'll tell a funny story. Maybe I want to seem funny. I now am like on the basis of like every person I meet, I'm like, sell me on why this next 5 minutes of my life is worth it.
Right.
And it's been a bit of a shift. It sounds a little bit asshole-ish or arrogant or whatever, but it's actually opened me up to listening a lot more to people. Whereas previously I would try to talk because I was like trying to, mask an insecurity of like, am I good enough for this person? Let me prove to them that
Sure.
I'm funny and cool and sane. Yeah, these are the 13 questions they're asking a lot. And it's interesting with prospects, these 13 questions, I've been working on them for a while with Scottie. He passes flying colors.
Right.
He did not post that Jordan stat.
Sure. That
The
was you.
Raptors tagged him. The Raptors posted
Oh, the
it.
Raptors. Yeah.
I posted it. Fucking Underdog NBA posted it. I think ESPN posted it. Everybody posted it.
Right.
He has not reacted to it.
Right.
Seen it, hasn't reacted to it, won't
Sure.
react to it. And it's interesting to me. It's just like he's so laser focused on what he's doing. He doesn't care. Michael Jordan, fuck that. He doesn't care about this stuff. It's good. It's good to see.
I think he's the type of person to be like, judge me on that level when my career's over.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like
But every great player is like that, though. Manu Ginobili was like that. Tim Duncan was like that. Tim Duncan wasn't like showmanship, you know. One question to ask you: what do you think of Zion right now? Have you seen Ozempic Zion's pictures?
I've seen it. I would like to. I'd love to know if that truly was Ozempic. Like, do we know that it was that? Like, has he come out and
We don't know. It's allegedly Ozempic.
Right.
It might be Timu brand Prozempic. It's like
oh god, do
Timu
not
brand Prozempic. It's not Ozempic. It's almost like Ozempic, but it's for pros from
yeah,
Timu.
it's O with an umlaut on it, Ozempic or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Prozempic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watched one of those. You seen Dr. Brian Suterer's videos?
Of course, yeah.
So I watched like I watched his video on Zion's injury at the time. I want to say it was 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. And it was specific to his running gait. And it's just like because his feet are curved in a way, it's almost inevitable that once he takes flight, once he gets up to full speed, he doesn't have the proper, I don't know, the proper gait to stay on his feet. Like, because they curve a certain way, he's always going to roll them, right? So if that, like, I don't know, obviously, if this it looks like it's bore out that way so far in his career, right?
Mhm.
But if that is the case, is the weight is shedding the weight going to somehow curb that, or is his gait and he's just always going to run the same, and he's just always going to run into these injuries where he either rolls an ankle or pulls a hamstring, right?
I agree with you. This is the best video I've ever seen on gait. I understood everything I needed to know from this. I have a normal-ish gait. I don't think it's perfect, but it's relatively normal. I managed to go through all of high school basketball, rugby, without ever suffering a serious injury. Tennis, I never suffered an ankle sprain, much less until I got into my 30s.
Right.
This video is amazing. It's by NBA Storyteller. Shout out to NBA Storyteller. I'll play like a minute of it. It explains why Zion and Capital One, fuck you.
Right.
It explains why Zion and Derrick Rose are basically doomed to fail as basketball players, or why they were doomed to fail. And it all comes down to the gate.
For a minute, I mean, I guess continue talking about him.
This is the NBA Storyteller.
Derrick was a train wreck waiting to happen. No, strike that. Derrick Rose was a well-timed, scheduled train wreck that you could purchase tickets to witness.
Oh, that's just incredible.
This is quick. Okay. Have you heard the word gait? Gait. A gait is the simple way to refer to the way someone walks, the way an individual walks. Jamie Foxx does a hilarious impression of a few different people, including OJ.
Is that walk? Every time I see that walk, I think he did it. You see me do that?
Okay, we're up to speed ahead. For some folks, you can just glance at the way they walk, glance at their gait, and know they're not meant to be an athlete, let alone move faster than 3 miles per hour without one of these involved. I mean, there's the case of this kid right here. You know this kid's ability is going to max out pretty soon, and his physical ability is going to restrict how good he gets and how far he goes. And then sometimes you look at people like Kenny Smith, right?
Here's the thing, Kenny. You're about 2 seconds of me talking about the fact that your knees touch every time you walk.
And Charles Barkley.
I don't mind limping around.
And even Phil Jackson. Good God. And you understand, in context, after years of high levels of performance, they have affected the way they walk. This is not natural. This is a result of some sort of abuse.
Anyways, it talks about Derrick Rose. It talks about Zion. I definitely don't want to play the entire video. It talks about how
as folks get old,
fluid someone like Michael Jordan was. Wait, where did the show Michael Jordan? Here, hold on. Here.
You recognize it because it's loose, it's fluid, it's kind of floppy too. It's kind of floppy. There's just nothing tense about it. There's nothing tense about the way these guys are moving, the way they cut, the way they go to the basket. It's very fluid, right? There's nothing hitchy about it. They're not rotating their hip through a click, you know. They're not rotating their joints through some sort of like. And then there's folks like LeBron, who you see, he's got this upright, very tall posture, which is great, right? It's good. That's probably helped in his ability to not get injured. Sure, maybe when the mass roid detox takes place.
Yeah. I wish I'd like timestamp this, but they show Derrick Rose, Zion Williamson, and just like how they walk, and they're just like they're designed to fail.
Even his game was
so basically Derrick Rose is a shout out to the NBA Storyteller. I posted the link to the video. Go check it out. Support NBA Storyteller.
Yeah, I'm gonna check
I
it
think
out.
he is, quite frankly, I say this very, very I say this with a great deal of humility and thought behind it. He's the best YouTuber that's ever made basketball videos ever.
Nice.
To me. He doesn't make them enough anymore. Shout out to Emio. He's great. He's great.
I can't believe I haven't come across any of this guy's videos.
He's great. He has really interesting ones. It's not always accurate. Like he has this one about John Stockton can't go left, which isn't entirely true, but it's interesting. He's just a really great editor. He's a fantastic editor, as you can see from his videos.
Sure.
He has one about Kawhi and the great escape from San Antonio, about how San Antonio was basically like a cult that, you know, made you submit, and Kawhi was like this innocent guy. I would love to see an update on that video.
Sure.
You know,
yeah, it did not age well.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's very compelling stuff. And I think in an age where 98% of everything you see just kind of goes in one ear and out the other, to kind of have something that impresses upon your mind a shift.
Sure.
Is very impressive.
Yeah, it makes you stop and think.
Yeah, because it's different, you know. Jimmy High Roller, Emio, Thinking Basketball. Those are my three go-tos for sure.
Yeah, there's a new guy. There's a new guy in Raptorland. What's his name? Raptor Shack. You've seen
Raptor Shack is good. Yeah. I know him. He's cool. He's cool.
Yeah, his stuff. I really like his stuff. Who else? You know, Goateology. He's good. He's good.
He's also a friend. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like the ones you meant, Thinking Basketball is fantastic. What's the name of the guy who voices that?
Thinking Basketball?
Yeah, what's that dude's
Ben
name?
Taylor.
Ed Taylor?
No, Ben Taylor.
Ben Taylor, right.
Yeah.
Not the referee.
And Cody, his co-host, who was annoying as fuck at first, but has now become awesome. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, there's definitely some very good content out there for sure.
Absolutely.
But you, man, your stuff ranks right up there with theirs. It's a little different because you're doing mostly long form discussion, so it's a little bit of a deeper dive. I often find like I because I've gotten to know you and I consider you a buddy, as like I feel guilty at times when I'm just like I just don't have an hour and a half to give right now. Right, like, or sometimes I'll try, like, I'll put on your stuff at 1.5 speed, but I lose it. It's not as, I don't know, it's not as engaging for some reason. It's just
at
like
1.5 speed.
Yeah, like I want to
because of my pragmatic pauses. You don't know
yeah,
about that.
that's right.
But my pragmatic pauses. You're losing the power of my pause, man.
If somebody watched this thing on 1.5 speed, I don't think I would like. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it as a thought experiment. I'm gonna come back and watch this at 1.5 speed just to hear.
Yeah, honestly, man, like I'm on the panel 3 times a week. I'm on playback 2 times a week. So I'm talking to other people constantly. Real hoop knowers, ex-players, cool stuff. But honestly, Player's Choice is very combative. You kind of gotta like fight for your perspective all the time. So I was really excited when you told me yo, Rob, when are you doing a live? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set this up. I'm putting Vince on the graphic because to me this is like a bar hang. This is like you know, I'm like talking hoops with a friend at the bar, and I've come to value that sort of like buddy cop movie, if you will.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
Like there's something to it that's very cool, and yeah. Like I appreciate you coming on and doing this. I was cooking for like a good 3 hours before this, and I was just like at 9:55. I'm like, all right, time for a beer hang, and I'm just
Nice.
like, yeah.
I was gonna say the next time we hang, or I don't know what the Raps schedule is yet. I don't even know when their first game is or when they start or whatever. But we're gonna hit a game together for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We should make a point of going to one of the first ones. I know you always have the lives afterwards, so it's a little touch and go with you after. But like if we can actually, no, it might be a little bit too. I was gonna say afterward we can come back here and do the live here, but then there would be too long a gap it would take too long to get back to my place probably. But we can figure.
You're close to downtown.
So I'm in Etobicoke now, south of Etobicoke. So once I'm on the Gardner, it's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from where I am. But
I'm about 15, about 20, 25 minutes away from downtown myself.
Right. You're in Pickering?
No, 25 minutes, dude.
Oh yeah, Pickering's way further than that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not about to tell people where I live on the internet. I'm not gonna do that shit.
Sure.
I already I was on Twitter Spaces a year ago, and someone was just like, I think I passed by you in my car today. Like, do you live around this place? And I was like, oh shit.
Maybe not online.
Oh shit. like dude, I feel nervous enough going to Raptor games. Top buddy cop movies. Well, it's gotta be Rush Hour, bro. No, it's not. It's Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop, 100%. I'm an 80s kid.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy, great. Rush Hour is cool. I actually gotta admit, I've only watched one of the Rush Hours, and I think I fell asleep.
Rush Hour 1
it's not age well. Oh, what am I talking about? 21 Jump Street, dude. Fuck that. Sorry. No offense. I've watched 21 Jump Street a grand total of 60 times. 21 and 22 Jump Street are my jam. Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum, Ice Cube. Yo, that's amazing.
I haven't seen it.
I'm
gonna have to see it.
No.
I'm a big Jonah Hill fan too. It's surprising. Like,
it's almost anti-Semitic that you haven't seen this. Borderline. 21 Jump Street or the other guys. Honestly, they're both great. The other guys is amazing.
The other guys I've seen quite a few times. I gotta fly. I'm a fucking peacock. I gotta fly.
Yes. That guy's amazing.
Underrated. Yeah, he's an underrated. Well, he's not a comedian, but he's comedy adjacent.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
honestly,
Wahlberg.
my introduction to Mark Wahlberg was Fear, so it's been really, really tough to shake that. Image of psycho boyfriend stalks and murders everyone. But yeah, Mark.
My introduction to Mark Wahlberg is it got that good vibration. Was that what band was he in?
I don't know. I didn't know he was in a band. What?
Dude, are you joking right
now?
Yes, Good Vibrations. Was it good?
Are you about to find out that Mark Wahlberg has a lookalike?
No, Mark.
Marky Mark
and the Funky Bunch.
Oh, geez, is that a real thing?
Yes, he was Marky Mark of the Funky Bunch.
Yo, like before they were famous, was he famous as a musician?
Oh yeah, it was a huge hit. This is a huge hit. Good Vibrations, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Here we go. Oh my god.
You can give me 5 seconds of it without getting copyright striked.
I'll just send it to you so you can.
Okay.
Can I just put this in the chat here? Comments, private here. I'll send it to you, private chat. There you go.
Okay.
That's Mark. That's Mark Wahlberg before Mark Wahlberg. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna laugh your ass off when you see that. Brother, I gotta bounce right now.
Okay.
It's getting a little late, but yeah, dude, great chatting with you. Good hang. Yeah, I'll be listening. I'm doing my annual fantasy draft tomorrow, which I gotta study up for with
how many teams?
12 teams. We do an auction draft. So
you do this in person?
Yeah, oh yeah, we do it in person every year.
Okay.
We are going on 1997 was the first year.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going on.
Have you ever won?
I've won 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've won more than the Raptors, but you don't play in a 30 team league. So
No, that's right. No, my
Okay.
my buddy Mython, he's the man. I feel like he's won it 6, 7, 8 times or something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I hold my own. Okay, for sure.
Yeah, like I've always resisted the idea of doing fantasy draft shit. I don't know why. Like for me, it distorts my perspective as an analyst because I start liking guys who put up numbers.
Yeah.
And I mean, in theory, numbers are good, but numbers cannot guide my guidance or guide my analysis. Because if Tijon Salon puts up 12 points and 10 rebounds, I don't want to care about that unless he did it in the right context.
Right,
you know?
right. No.
Yeah.
I get it, man. It's more for the whatever. It's not even for the competition. It's more for the hang. We get to do it every year. We do it in person. We catch up. You know, we have all these silly little rules baked in to create drama the day of. So it's just like
You have the first pick.
No, it doesn't matter who picks first because it's an auction draft. So the way it works is like somebody will say, okay, Nikola Jokic, and then we start bidding fantasy. Like everybody's got 300 fantasy bucks to use, and
oh shit,
yeah. So it's a lot. It's a little bit more interesting.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. It's so if I really want Jokic, I can pay
$295.
Yeah, exactly. Like you need to fill out a team of 12 people. So. The most anyone has ever gone for, I believe, is like 150.
Can I guess? Was it Shaq?
No, it would have been more recent.
LeBron?
No, actually, LeBron has never been the. Maybe he has. Yeah, maybe in his heyday he was like the biggest producers in our thing, and it's more weighted toward guys who rack up a lot of
threes.
Rebounds, assists, and threes, right? Like so.
Rebounds, assists, and threes. Okay, hang on 1 second. Rebounds, assists, and threes.
And good field goal.
Scottie Barnes.
Yeah.
Is Scottie Barnes the guy that went for 150? Because we know he gets a lot of assists, a lot of rebounds, a lot of threes. I don't know. Kevin Durant.
No, it was Giannis back in the heyday. So like
I thought threes mattered.
Like, but so at the time. So we recently increased the value of threes, I want to say in the last 5-6 years or something like that. And before that, Giannis was just like, he was the GOAT because his field goal percentage was so high, right? So the amount of rebounds, assists, blocks he got coupled with his field goal percentage, it was just like he was, otherworldly.
I got you.
So he went for like 150, but even then, like even Jokic is by far the best player who's ever played in our in our league, and he goes for about 130 to 140 every year. So
okay, that seems fair. Wemby might be an underrated pick this year, though.
Oh yeah, no, Wemby.
I mean, provided he doesn't get blood clots again,
he'll go for high for sure. Luka will probably go pretty high. Yeah,
Derek White might be another underrated pick. Sorry, I'm trying to give you the edge here because I want you to win this, but I don't want to actually participate in fantasy draft stuff. So I'm trying to like bridge this gap by giving a friend who is doing fantasy. I think Derek White might be really good because I mean, on one hand, he's obviously going to have a lot more touches with Jason Tatum out. On the other hand, he might get traded to a team that really needs him, right? So in either case, Michael Porter Jr. might be an underrated pickup in case, maybe everyone's not paying attention to how many points he might grab with the Nets. That might be an underrated one. Cameron Johnson might be another underrated one.
Do you mean Cam Thomas?
No, I mean Cameron Johnson.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because Cam Johnson is going to be playing with Nikola Jokic.
Yes.
And we all know Jokic makes efficient players efficient.
Yes.
Inefficient players efficient. So what would he do to an already super efficient player? He might make a star.
Dude, I think Denver's got a squad this year.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that trade was really good.
Yeah, maybe for like $1 at the end of your draft, maybe JV might put up some numbers.
Valanciunas?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah, actually, so guys like Valanciunas are on in our so the amount of minutes played doesn't play as huge a role in our draft as most pools
Oh.
because we take minutes into account. Like if you're a highly efficient player in low minutes, that's way better than having a guy who just plays 38 minutes a game, but puts average stats up. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So like, yeah, so like per
Do you guys
36,
prorate it per 36?
it's something like that. There's an overall efficiency metric that they come down to, which for all intents and purposes you can call it PER, right?
Okay.
Or maybe WAR, wins above replacement kind of thing. You know, but like there's a number that comes out like it's points per minute on the floor. And Nikola Jokic, so if you're a really good player, you put up a 1.0. So 1 fantasy point per minute. Nikola Jokic is a 1.64. That's how dominant he is. He's
Right.
like, yeah, he's just insane. So if you like the guy who I think Jokic has won, like the team who's had Jokic on his team for the past 5 years has won it 4 out of 5 years, right?
That
So
makes sense because
yeah,
he's relatively healthy.
he's
Yeah.
healthy. He plays the same way. He's super consistent, and
I
yeah,
like this auction drafting. That's a really smart idea because it's blending two things that I really like, which is one, money, and
yes,
two, basketball. It's
right.
blending both of them. I'm like, damn, I might be really good at this.
It's
Okay.
really interesting for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for coming on. Appreciate you. Really good hang. And
That's it.
Yeah.
Same to you, my bro.
All right. Peace, man. See you
Okay,
soon.
Ciao, man.
See you, Vince. All right. Make sure to give this video a like. Shout outs to Vince for coming through. Shout outs to all of you for staying with us until 1:36 in the morning. Was this a super structured live? No, it was just a hang. It's what I said it would be in the beginning. It is a training camp preview. And the training camp preview is go grab a beer with a friend. Go grab a beer with a friend, have some fun. Raptors basketball is 8 days away. 8 days away. I have been posting every single day on X one picture of a Raptor with that jersey. Any guesses on who number 8 is going to be for the Toronto Raptors? Let me know in the comments below. I will post whoever you actually say. So it's going to be like the 4th comment I read. Whoever it is, I'm going to post it. Let me know who should number 8 be on our countdown. Peace, guys. Carvin, you're on to something.